Hello, hello. On today's show, I've got some pretty great things to say about the Mandalorian season premiere. Mike shows us the winning covers of the Uncanny round of Cover Combat 3, and Patrick says we're headed back to Springfield. Welcome to your favorite live streaming whatnotting podcast, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space. As usual, I am your host, Kevin, and I've got a full house today, and it is awesome. Do you want to say hey, Patrick?
I do want to say hey, Patrick. Hello, everyone.
And of course, couldn't do half of the stuff on this show without Mike. Mike?
I'll say hey, Patrick.
And then lastly, I guess I should have changed the intro to our old intro because we have a special host today with us. You want to say hey, Johnny?
Hey, guys.
What's up, Johnny?
Hey.
Happy to have you here, buddy. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Is that music a lot heavier than before?
Now, Patrick made that comment before too, and I think what it is y'all are hearing is it just since you know how the old intro had two sections of the slowness in the middle of it whenever Johnny was coming in, remember?
Yeah.
So this one doesn't have any slow cuts in it. So it reaches a lot more of the song.
Okay.
So basically you're reaching the parts of the song that get heavier.
Right.
So
yeah, it was
so
like
the
the
answer is
same.
yes. No.
Okay.
What? Sorry, Mike. What'd you say?
I was gonna say it was the same song but heavy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Johnny's here to talk up Cover Combat with us, and we really appreciate that. Patrick is off of his normal location in an echo chamber, and me and Mike are just normal, regular. So this should be fun. And we're all kind of. I meant to say, do you guys think I'm kind of starting to overact a bit in the teaser, or is it good? Is it good? Okay, good.
Yeah, that was good.
Thanks. We obviously all fancy ourselves comedians now, so Anyway.
Holy cow.
Thank you, Karen. Hey,
like Johnny Carson crowd.
I meant to say something about that too. That seems really loud to me, at least. I mentioned to Karen a couple times, but when I've actually listened to, especially the podcast, when I wasn't even watching the YouTube video later, it sounds like a good volume. So if you guys are thinking that, just don't worry about it. It's good, in my opinion. So anyway, let's get into this because people have to get out of here early today. Mike, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. You add it to the screen when it's ready to go.
Okay, cool. Here we go. All right, awesome. Did you guys like the descriptor that I put on this round, the Uncanny Cover Combat round? Wasn't that sweet?
That was super great. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Johnny. Thanks.
No problem.
Yeah. Sorry, I was paying attention to my computer here.
I know you guys are busy. I got it. Yeah. All right, what we got, Mike?
All right. This is round 3, and we're gonna go from 24 books down to 12 today.
Oh, man.
It's scary for some folks.
Yep.
This guy. I feel like I'm on my way out.
Can I ask a question first, Mike?
Yeah.
How many claims did you get this week?
We have a total of 4. Well, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 claims.
Okay. There's still plenty of options for people to claim to get the giveaways. We'll talk about that later, though. So.
Yep. All right, so let's start with our first matchup. And this one I messed up last week. I had the wrong Deadpool. When I'm putting these all together, I'm looking at really tiny things on the computer and my phone. So I messed up. New York Mike pointed it out to me. So, and it was funny because it's even more uncanny.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was awesome. It's like the perfect matchup.
And I'm surprised. Who was that said something? Sorry.
That was me. Go ahead.
Okay. Man, with 4 people in the room now, it's tough. Sorry. I'm surprised I didn't notice it because it was my Deadpool that I knew just got eliminated that you put up there for the next round. I should have noticed it right off the bat too.
Yep.
New York Mike is so sharp.
He is. He's on it.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we got Deadpool 14 versus Superman 204. There were a lot of close ones. There were a lot of 1-vote victories here. The winner here had 53% of the vote.
Wow. I wouldn't have figured this one would be that close.
Oh, it was. And the winner, we've got Superman.
Hooray!
Moving forward.
I'm happy about that too. Yeah, I mean, I actually like the Deadpool cover a little bit more because it's got a whole pirate theme going on, which that's my jam too. But yeah, I think this is a better one.
Yeah. And for those that aren't paying attention to the comments, this one's been claimed. This was claimed last week.
Right.
Claimed by me.
Yeah, by Johnny.
Nice.
A lot of faith in that pose.
It's gonna be in the finale against that Batman, and
That would be crazy. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
That'd be great. All right. Next up, we have the Rain. Moon Knight number 2 versus Batman 675. The winner here had 60% of the vote. Any last comments before I reveal it?
Well, I don't think anybody until I was talking to Johnny this week mentioned the irony of this one that there's no Batman on a gargoyle in this, but there's a Moon Knight on a gargoyle. So it's got Batman and a gargoyle. So which way do you go?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. You want to throw any shade to Finch, Patrick, before we go?
Do I what?
Want to throw any shade on Finch?
No, I should have said this before we started. We're down to 3 Finches, 3 Lees, 2 Rosses, and 2 Turners.
Oh, yep. It gets slim. Here we go. And the winner in the rain, Batman.
Nice.
675. I love the colors on this. The blue it just stands out.
Was that the last Moon Knight too? Is it? That's the last Moon Knight, I think, as well, right?
Yes, that's the last Moon Knight.
Wow.
R.I.P. Moon Knight.
Yep.
You like that one, John?
Do I like the Batman one?
Yeah. Well, do you like that it was victorious?
Nah.
Oh, you prefer the Moon Knight on that one, huh?
Yeah. I don't like that Batman very much. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I actually voted for Finch in that round.
Holy cow, boy, Batman's got no love going to the next round.
All right. Well, I liked it. What do you think, Mike? I like that one. What do you like?
Yeah, I like that one. It's Batman in the rain. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, it's not Patrick or Johnny's cover.
Yeah. The room is 2v2, so so obviously someone else decided.
Yeah. All right. This was a good heavy hitter. JSA 73 versus Amazing Spider-Man 539. The victor here also had 60%. So it turned out to not be as close as I thought it would be.
Wow, the praying matchup. That's what I've given this one.
Okay. Yep. All right. Here we go. The winner is Spider-Man.
Nice. Your beer gut comment
Yeah.
from Mark.
Oh, Mark
made that one happen. Yeah.
Marcus, pointed it out.
Karen apparently has no opinion on any of these at all. We're not getting any boos or claps.
Or she's just in shock. I can't believe it. All right, next up, Captain America #6 versus Green Lantern #1 by Ethan Van Sciver. This was the winner, had 53% of the vote. This was another 1 vote victory.
The show your item matchup. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I could go either way on this one, though. I really obviously voted for one, but I thought this was pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, I couldn't decide.
You know me, I like reflections. So.
Yeah, I wondered.
Yep. All right. And
What's reflecting in this? I'm missing it.
Green Lanterns. So he's the Spectre in the main picture, but then in his lantern, you can see the parallax reflected.
Oh, okay. I didn't notice that. Okay, gotcha.
You want to change your vote?
Yes, I'd like to change my vote. No.
Like, oh, dang it. All right. I can't remember what you voted for anyway.
Yeah, you know what? Me neither.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was so evenly matched.
Right. All right. And the winner here is Captain America. There goes a Green Lantern.
All right, Karen's got nothing to say about that one. Karen, where's your responses to these covers? What say you?
Yes, I agree.
A double boo. All right.
I did like both of those though.
Yeah, they're. Here we have All-Star Superman #6 versus Green Lantern 43.
The Tombstone matchup. Got it.
Tombstone. The winner here, another 1 point victory. 53% of the vote went to the winning book. Any thoughts?
I was torn on this one too. I like them both.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty even as well, in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I love them both. But there can only be one winner, and it's Superman.
Superman.
Patrick's happy about that. He hated that Green Lantern, right, Pat?
I didn't hate it. I couldn't understand why it was getting so much love. I would wager that most people voting for it don't even know who that character is. So that was kind of confusing to me too.
I'm one of those. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Well, my household. Go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah, the moon looks really cool in the Superman one. I think that really sets the tone nicely.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got the moon. It's got crypto. I mean, a somber Superman. It's got everything going for it.
Yeah.
So.
Who is that character, Pat? Do you want to enlighten us?
Who is that? Black Hand?
Yeah, that's Black Hand.
My household votes on. They're emotional on the characters they recognize. If it's not somebody they recognize it like, then they go for the picture. But
the studio audience is happy about it being Superman. Got it.
Next up, Green Lantern #1 versus Star Wars Clone Wars #1.
Uh-oh.
Once again, a 1 point victory.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there were a lot of these. So the winner was 53% of the vote again.
I feel like I'm going to be sad here while I'm also right. That's what's happening in this one.
All right. You want to, you can explain it after I show the winner.
Yeah.
All right. Can Green Lantern hold on? Because we just lost 2. It's Star Wars.
Oh my God. Wow. I'm shocked.
Yeah, this one makes me question stuff because this is one that beat one of my books in the first round.
No, it's beat one of mine, and my family members both voted for Star Wars. So
yeah,
wow.
I don't get that Star Wars at all.
Like,
doesn't do anything for me.
Okay, so I'm going to explain what I thought I was going to be right about. I thought Green Lantern had that one in the bag, and I was going to be sad because I love this book, but I did vote for the Green Lantern because it's a better cover,
Uh-huh.
But I love this book not only because it's Star Wars Clone Wars, which is one of my favorite Star Wars things ever. And you know, I was watching this show and I can appreciate this cover, but then also too, this is a book that I own and it's a super high value book, and that makes me happy as well. But I'm shocked at one though, because I agree with everything you guys said though. Unless you know, I can't believe unless you know and you're a big Clone Wars fan that people would vote for this over the Green Lantern. Maybe that's the case. Maybe there's just more people that love the Clone Wars. They didn't care about how good that Green Lantern looked.
Yeah, or just, I mean, yeah, I just don't like this cover. That doesn't really blow me away.
I mean, and you got to love the Ahsoka Anakin love on it too. I mean, it's kind of a feel good cover too, you know. It's kind of got some feelings to it. I mean, if you know, like I said, if you know, you know.
Right. All right. Here we go. Let's get back to it. Amazing Spider-Man 606 versus Superman 211. This one's good. Lee versus Campbell.
It is good, but this is an easy pick for me.
Yeah, this one was a bit of a landslide. Actually, it's the second biggest landslide of the week, or it's tied for the biggest landslide. 73% of the vote went to the winner. So people feel strongly for and against.
Johnny, was this an easy pick for you or no? He stepped out for a minute. Okay, go ahead.
About it. Yeah. So, are we fans of Jim Lee or J. Scott Campbell? Here we go. And Superman.
Nice.
Wins that matchup.
I'm with the studio audience there.
Yeah.
And with my wife, because she didn't like Mary Jane getting jilted there. So.
All right. Yeah, that does have. That can do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's just some great action in that Jim Lee book.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, here we go. This is a good one here. Avengers 25 versus Uncanny X-Men 493. This one was tied for the biggest landslide with the last one we just showed. So 73% of the vote went to the winner. Okay,
Patrick, you're shaking your head. What's up?
This is another one of my covers. I'll say it right now because I'm going to say goodbye to it, I fear. And my family voted against me here too.
Oh, man.
Sorry, man. I'm not laughing at your family voting against you.
Yeah, we're not. I hate that. I hate that worse than anything. Yep. If I'm going to be wrong, I just want my family to back me up.
Right. Yeah. All right. And the winner here is Uncanny X-Men.
Sorry about it, Pat.
Sorry, Patrick. Your family was correct.
So you voted against my George Perez Chelsea. And she goes, wait, that was George Perez? She felt bad. And I was like, well, you can still change your vote.
Yeah. Well, this one winning so much, sure are a lot of haters on the show.
Hey, I learned some trivia this weekend during my Whatnot show because I didn't do any selling, but I did a little bit of chatting with some guys in the room. And this one guy told me about a book he just bought because he was proud of it on eBay. And I asked him why he wanted that in particular. And he told me it was because it was George Perez's first artwork. Do you guys know what that book that is?
Astonishing Tales, Deathlock.
Yeah, I did not know that. The first appearance of Deathlock, the last 2 pages of that book is George Perez's first published artwork.
To 26, maybe.
Did you know that, Mike?
I did not know that.
That's pretty cool, right?
So that book has 2 things going for it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I didn't.
And I looked it up, and it's not really that expensive. I think I got it like
that's what I was saying. That book has 2 things going for it.
Yeah. Johnny, did you know that?
I
All right.
If you quizzed me on it, probably not.
Everybody loves to hate this.
But yeah, I've heard that before.
No, okay. Oh, geez. Let me pray for a minute before we go. Let me see if I can change the votes in the YouTube comments. All right, I'm done.
Mike seems laggy.
He does. I think he's missing because I was expecting some kind of full out laughter from me making that joke just now, and I got none. So I think Karen's laggy too. Mike is frozen. Oh my God, this is a bad time for you to freeze, Mike. Because none of us can control the middle of the screen either. Oh man, this is bad.
My problem with the Civil War one is what you said last week. It's only half a cover. There's half of that cover is just white.
Yeah, that's yeah, we talked about that. Yeah. And I agree. Well, I agree with that. I think the half that two things. One, the half that obviously is a cover is great. And two, they all look like that way. So it really got me this nostalgic, feel of liking that format just for that series or something, maybe something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That how you
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
Now what do we do?
Like, I can tell you that my family voted against me here too.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to assume you voted for Catwoman.
Yes, I did.
So that makes me happy. That gives me hope. Because I know I voted for Civil War. So I intentionally do not look at the YouTube comments to be surprised. Do you look at them to see what the votes are?
You mean the Facebook comments?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Facebook comments.
Yeah, I admit that I do look at them. It seems like they're usually fairly tight.
Yeah. It does seem like they're close most of the time. When I look at them after the fact, I want to see what the specific votes were. What about
I
you?
look at it every time somebody posts. Every time.
You want to stay up to date.
Yeah, I'm totally up to date all the time. Yeah.
But obviously, me, you, Patrick, and New York Mike votes on Facebook. But we just vote. We must just all send it. Or do you vote on Facebook as well, Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny votes on Facebook.
Okay. So you just vote direct to Mike like I do.
Yeah, I vote on Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. Keep my influencing vote secret. Because I don't want to ever have anybody feel like a cover lost because my mom just votes everything I vote or something like that. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Do we have any comments from Mike in text or anything? Can you guys keep up with that? But let's skip to something else while we wait for Mike. Pat, you wanna go to your segment real quick since we need to knock out Cover Combat in your segment because you got to check out a little early today, and I know you got to check out early too, John. Obviously, I'm sorry, but hopefully you can stick around so Mike makes it back.
Yeah, I'm picking up the boy right now, so we'll see.
Oh man, that sucks. Sorry about it, man. As soon as you show up, the show goes to crapper.
I'm bad luck, I guess. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah. Mike says he's working on getting back in. His internet went down. I don't know if that means Patrick internet went down too. I'd like to say it's a Pennsylvania. Would you say, Pat or Johnny?
I said, what a disaster. It's always when I'm on the show that disasters strike.
Hey.
There's Mike.
Hey. Man, I'm sweating bullets now because I'm holy cow, what's going on?
We lost Patrick though a second ago.
We decided the Catwoman won to go on to the next one.
Oh, okay. Let me get back over. Hopefully that's still
Seriously,
there.
what happened to Patrick? I was just getting ready to switch to Collectibles on the Horizon since you were gone, Mike, and then Patrick dropped out. You don't know what happened, Mike? Your internet just went down?
No, it went down. We have two different lines here, so I switched.
There he is. Patrick's back.
Yeah, it just went out on me.
All right, Johnny, you
Like,
should
as
be in
soon
the
as
show.
I talked about collectibles on the horizon growing up,
I'm the one driving around, and somehow I stayed on. I don't know.
All right, do we want to get back to this?
Yes, Mike. You need to add your other screen thing back because it's not on here.
Oh, that left too.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Anyway, though, Patrick, did you hear what I said? As soon as I mentioned we should switch to collectibles on the horizon since Mike isn't here and you got to check out, you disappeared. I was like, what the heck?
I said, poor Mike, and I looked up, and there's my signal's gone. So I was like,
And then Johnny's like, I'm just picking up the boy now, so he's got to check out soon. I'm like, I'm going to be alone in 5 seconds. What the heck is happening? All right, here we go. We're back at it. What are we looking at, Mike? For the podcast listeners.
Let me regain my composure. Okay, we've got Catwoman 51 versus Civil War 7. Oh, both of these covers have complaints by fans.
Yep. We were talking about that when you checked out. We covered that.
Okay, I'll get right along to it. The winner here had 60% of the vote. So it was not a landslide, but also not really, really close. And the winner, before I lose internet connection,
yes!
Civil War 7.
Boo! Boo!
Wait, Karen's clapping? Karen
Yeah,
didn't like that Catwoman cover. That's shocking.
She doesn't like a disheveled Catwoman.
Yeah, because she's a big Catwoman fan. Yeah, she just didn't like it disheveled.
that Catwoman was on my list, but I went with the other out of use Catwoman. That was mine that got eliminated last week. So I was supporting that one.
Sorry about it, Johnny. I know we talked about that for a minute this week too. Did you have anything deeper you wanted to say about that when you started to yell at me about why I shouldn't hate that cover?
No, I was just excited that I got that one in because that was mine, and I was excited that nobody else had it yet because I thought that was like one of the sort of more classic ones from that era. But
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Civil War is too. I just the trade dress kills it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that one, I try to look past it and just pay attention to the action on there, but it's hard.
Well, what I mentioned, Mike, and you might agree with this when you dropped out, was that even though it's only half of a cover and it's so much trade dress, it's such it made me a nostalgic look for me that since they all look that way, that I appreciate that as as part of its greatness at this point.
Right. Yeah. Yep. All right.
But anyway, R.I.P. Is that? Oh, we got one Catwoman still alive. Okay, so Moon Knights are dead. Are Venoms still alive too? Venoms?
No, Venoms are gone. Catwoman's gone.
No, we got one more.
Do we?
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I thought two made it from last week.
No, Patrick's was eliminated last week.
Oh, okay.
So was the other Alex Ross, or the Alex Ross Catwoman, the Batman cover with Catwoman on it.
Yeah, that one was mine.
Yeah.
So R.I.P. Catwoman, R.I.P. Moon Knight. Got it.
Yep. All right. Getting rid of all the usual suspects.
This
The matchup Patrick loves to hate.
My wife doesn't like either one of these covers either. I was pleasantly surprised to find out.
Really? Wow. That's shocking to me.
It made up for her voting against your books
No,
earlier.
it did not.
No.
I love both of these covers. I love
So do
them.
I.
Yeah. This was a pretty easy pick for me though, but I love them both.
Yep. The winner here, once again, 60% of the vote. So it wasn't a landslide, but it wasn't super close. All right, Patrick. This is for you, man.
Oh man.
Number 1.
Yes.
Now that X-Men was my book.
Oh,
When I saw the matchup, or when I saw Johnny, never mind.
I guess that drops out. That eliminates Lost It to Bostic's pick, right? That's the X-Men he was talking about when he said that, right? I think.
Oh, was it? I don't think I ever found his, because it's not. I think he was doing it on the.
Oh yeah, maybe he never voted on. He
Yeah.
never typed in his vote, his pick.
Right. So he never clarified.
Wait, hold on. What?
He just kind of commented while the show was going on. I'm not sure he ever went back and typed his choice in the comments.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. I looked for it. I couldn't find anything. That
I saw it. I'll show you guys later. I don't want to say it on the air though, because
Yeah, but he said that during the show he needed to type it out in the comments.
Oh, it doesn't come up in the comments if you say it during the show?
Well, I guess technically it is in the comments then.
Yeah. Right, Mike? Let's clarify that right now.
I only looked in the.
I don't think it does. I don't think it does come up in the comments.
In the comments on the video, it's not. We're below the video in the comments. Check the comments below.
No,
it wasn't in there.
Doesn't matter. It's gone.
Yeah, right. It doesn't matter. Ultimately,
sorry, Mike. I didn't mean that sounded meaner than I meant it to.
Yeah, but let's just clarify that for people that if you want to claim, if you claim during the show, that's fine, but then you still need to claim it in the comments of the video after the fact is what everybody's saying, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly I'm not that heartbroken over the X-Men book being eliminated, because I love this cover too. It was a really great matchup that I knew I had a hard time. I was going to have a hard time winning.
Tyler was a big fan of this cover too, for certain reasons, I think.
Say that again, Patrick. I cut you off at the beginning.
Tyler was a big fan of parts of this cover too, I think. It's the champ right now, so
yep.
Moving on.
Yep. Next up, here we go. Batman 608 versus Avengers 503.
Man, this is an emotional roller coaster week. I don't know what to expect here. Daggum.
Yeah, this was the kind of heroes looking stoic. Jim Lee versus Finch. The winner here, this was a close one. 1 vote difference.
Really?
53% went to the winner. These are great, though. The close ones are great. That just shows a really good matchup.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on to your britches. Avengers 503.
You got to be kidding me.
I'm actually shocked at that one too.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yep. So unfortunately, we're not going to get the Batman Superman matchup we wanted.
Nope.
Sometimes I wish I can just manipulate it and make that happen, but it would not.
It's better you don't. It's better you don't, obviously.
Yeah.
But
you see, it's like, man, that'll be such a fun matchup.
Man, I can't believe. Maybe people just thought that Batman cover was just too boring or something. I don't know, but
they all voted for the Superman one.
I'll tell you what. Well, Superman only won 53%. It was only won by 1. Maybe it was just the matchup more.
Yeah.
But this one, I'll say that my problem with the Batman one, and I love it, but man, Jim Lee, when he draws like the cape, it's just like a scribble of an outline. Like there's nothing to it. Like it's just a scribble of an outline. It's nothing. That kind of bothers me.
Yeah.
Okay.
My problem with this one is Batman's calves are as big as his thighs. Especially that right calf that's up on the gargoyle. Oh man, I can see where the line should be. Not that I'm telling Jim Lee how to draw. One of us is a landscaper and the other is, But
I think it's just the shading that makes it look that way. I don't think they're actually remotely close to the same size, but that's just my opinion because
no man, dude. I'll put a ruler to that.
Okay, do it. I want to see it on it.
All right, I'll do it. All right, let's get back to the winner there.
Let's not get back to the winner. Let's forget this ever happened. No.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
I'll say. Can I say something about that? The Batman and Superman. I think, and I could be mistaken, but he can comment. I think New York Mike has statues of both of those.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Oh, No, I'm not jealous. That is cool. That'd be a great set.
Yeah, if you had them together,
Yeah.
right beside each other, yeah, that'd be great. Yep.
All right. So now let's get back to this is it, the final matchup of the week. Oh, it's a fun one too. Astonishing X-Men 26 versus Amazing Spider-Man 528. Any thoughts?
I can't breathe.
All right. 67% of the vote went to the victor. That's quite a that's
Oh my gosh. I'd actually believe that could go either way though.
Yep.
I have no attachment to either.
You got great this is my opinion on this, okay? And I won't say which is which. But you got a much better art in my opinion on one than the other. But you got a much more popular character on one than the other. So that's why I think it's pretty even.
I agree, Kevin.
Those are valid. I don't know about yeah, both artists are good. They both have their own styles. I know Patrick's not a Deodato fan. I think New York Mike really is. I like him.
You know, Deodato, he reminds me of when you're learning to draw and you're told to draw with a bunch of bubbles, and that's all I see when I see Mike Deodato's covers.
Wow.
His characters just look like bubble characters to me.
All right.
That's the only way I'm going to be able to see it from now on, though. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if he can get kicked out of this program then. All right. With 67% of the vote, the winner is Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
So weirdly, you know, I'm looking at my list here, and every vote but one was on the left-hand column, and almost the whole right-hand column won.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is odd.
1, 2, 3. Yeah. The Captain America, Green Lantern, the left column won. All-Star Superman left column. And that was it.
Yep.
So I guess everybody remembers the second book. when their eyes go from left to right, they're like, "Oh, that's nice. Ooh, look at that!" And that's what they vote for.
Man, I'm going to post every day this week too for people just to vote. I mean, we need to get. No offense to the voters of this book, okay?
Well, to the voters and whoever submitted it.
And to whoever submitted. And yeah, it's not horrible by any stretch. But I just think it's just amazing to me that this one would win over that other book. I mean, and that's happened a couple times in this, and it's obviously my personal opinion. So I'm just feeling like if there were more voters, it would be. So I'm going to be posting, begging for more voters every week from now on, maybe multiple times a day.
Yeah. I mean, it was a 60.
I think that a lot of times.
Yeah.
33% to 67%. You need a lot of voters.
Dang.
But there were a lot of, like I said, there were a lot of one vote victories.
Like I said, this is a popularity contest that I think won this cover. That's what I think happened. Spider-Man. People are like, who's this freaky looking blue guy? Some people,
Not even a good version of the Beast. I hated when he looked like that.
Oh, I loved it. I love that. I love that version.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. I'm going to go ahead and remove that.
Okay. Jeez.
So you want the breakdown on who has what remaining?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You got a goose egg, Pat? Oh.
Yeah, like Patrick was saying, he is eliminated this week. We have
The family, in part.
Yeah.
Your art is just too above.
Can I say something real quick about? Can I jump in for a second?
Yes. Yes, go. He's like, psych.
Yeah. So,
you literally sound like Megatron right now. No one can understand what you're saying, John.
Okay, never mind. I'll skip it. I'll skip it for now.
Oh, there you go. You got better as soon as you said that. Try one more time.
Okay. I wanted to talk about the Hawkman one that he put in a couple weeks ago
Okay.
because he expected me to, because I'm a big Hawkman fan. But being a big Hawkman fan means that, like, I would assume it's similar to him with like Hellboy or The Thing. Like it's like you like a specific kind of art style for that thing.
Yeah.
You know, so that's why I ended up like I didn't like that one that much. Obviously, I like Hawkman, but it's the same with Wolverine for me. Like I want him to look a certain way, and if he doesn't look that certain way, then I'm sort of against it.
Yep, I totally understand that.
I'm the opposite with Wolverine. There's only one artist that I don't like drawing Wolverine. Everyone else with me.
Yeah.
Can everyone guess? Anyone in the room?
I can't. I feel like an idiot because I can't. Am I missing something?
Bendis.
Huh?
No, not Bendis.
Yeah, I would say he doesn't. I hate his drawing.
Yeah, no.
Wolverine too.
Who is it, Johnny? Patrick.
Barry Windsor Smith.
Barry Windsor Smith.
Oh, okay. Oh, now I get it.
Yeah, I always get those three names. I always get those two confused because of three names. I know what
Brian Michael Bendis, Barry Windsor Smith.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I meant and Smith. Yeah, Barry Windsor Smith. Yeah.
All right.
And Johnny's wants to say, but his audio is not working. That's ridiculous because the best Wolverine cover ever is Barry Windsor Smith.
Is that what he said? Okay.
That's what he was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, his audio was only letting like the prepositions through.
Right.
Barry Windsor Smith. It's Barry Windsor Smith.
We clarified that. Thanks, John. Oh man. Oh, geez. My face is going to be hurting by the end of this episode.
Yeah. All right, so we'll continue. Unfortunately, Patrick is eliminated. Tyler and New York Mike each have one cover. They have one cover each. Kevin has two, and Johnny and myself each have four.
Wow, that's still good. Good, nice.
Yep. It's way better for me than last time I was eliminated early.
I'm going to assume the Steel City Amazing is yours at this point, but I want to full disclosure. I have no idea, but I'm going to assume that, Mike.
All right. Well, I told you Mike Collins likes Deodato also.
That's true. You're trying to throw me off the
All
scent,
right.
though.
All right, guys, I got a jet.
All right, Johnny, it was great to have you, man. Sorry about a little bit of problems. And
Thanks for having me. That's it.
See ya.
Yep.
See you
All
later,
right.
buddy.
I'll see you guys.
All right, bye. If we got Johnny for 10 minutes every week, I'd be happy as a clam.
Yeah.
I'd change the intro back.
All right. But leave out the slow stuff. It would be more exciting. Keep that heavy stuff through music.
Okay.
All right.
I'll change it up. Yeah, okay, gotcha.
So now are we ready for the matchups?
I'm glad to hear you guys like it with it being longer with the heavier stuff coming in because I do too. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, for heavy. Some of these matchups are just really, after hearing everybody's conversations on what books they like and which ones they don't.
Karen just commented because we mentioned 10 minutes all the time when Johnny stops in, and Karen was like, it was 40 minutes.
Yes. It's a long 10 minutes. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yes.
I think so.
All right. First up.
Oh, man.
Uncanny X-Men 493 versus Captain America #6.
That's a pretty good matchup.
Yeah. Yep. They get harder.
Yeah, when I say pretty good matchup, I'm always meaning, pretty even, right?
Yeah. I think this one can go either way. And I'm also tracking the number of votes that every cover has received.
In case we get a tie.
Yeah, and up until their point of elimination. So that'll be fun to look at also. Not today.
Yeah. Well, we know who Pat's voting for on this one. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. One book has already got a 1-0 lead. All right, next up, Amazing Spider-Man 539 versus Superman 211.
Karen is extremely frustrated by that matchup. I don't know why, but
This one?
yeah.
Ah,
She's getting ready to type in why. So
Oh,
we'll
okay.
know in a second here. I think this is another good matchup, though, obviously for extremely different reasons. They're both great, though.
yep. Waiting for Karen's reply. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Simply put, she says she likes them both. That's fair, Karen. I like them both as well.
All right. Oh, this next matchup. Holy cow.
Patrick, what's your feeling on this Spider-Man Superman, though, real quick?
No strong feelings either way.
Okay.
All right. There's going to be a lot of strong feelings on this next one. Star Wars Clone Wars 1 versus Teen Titans number 1.
Man,
I have no idea what to do.
I don't either.
It's almost. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna. I won't.
Man,
say
if
it.
that Star Wars Clone Wars limps into the finals somehow, that will be so
Yeah.
hilarious.
That's the thing, though. It's not limping anywhere. It's strong, moving strong ahead.
Yeah, I shouldn't
Yeah.
use the word limping. I appreciate that correction. Yeah, it's I guess sneaks maybe. I don't know how to feel. I just feel like it's not that great, but I guess that's why Cover Combat's so awesome, because no matter what you feel like, if more people disagree, you're wrong. You know?
Yeah. 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 This one. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Next up.
Did we figure out who the artist is on that Clone Wars yet?
Yeah.
Okay, who was it again?
It is Scott Hepburn.
Scott Hepburn.
Hmm.
Katharine Hepburn's long lost grandson. Got it.
Okay. Sounds like you're making things up, but okay.
No, I'm just trying to find a way to remember it.
Oh,
I'll
okay.
remember from now on. That'll
Right.
be my key. That's what I do. I trick my mind into remembering things.
All right. Next up, All-Star Superman 6 versus Avengers 503. Sometimes
All right,
I think it should be a walk in the park, but
yeah, this one's an easy pick for me. Yeah.
all right. And finally,
These are two great competitors, though. I like the the character matchup. That'll at least take that out of the
yeah.
vote equation. These are, I mean, I don't know if they're could possibly be a more even matchup with characters,
Yep. All right. And finally, if anyone's keeping score, Superman 204 versus Batman 675.
Daggum, this one's actually a tough one for me.
Yeah, that's another good match. You've Superman and Batman. I mean,
Yeah.
the two,
Character should be even on that one too. Yeah. Yep.
So that's what we got for next week. I'll have these posted. Actually, I'm going to try to post them while Kevin does his what Kevin Watch segment. That way they'll be up before the show's even over.
Daggum. Can you give a recap of which covers are claimed, please? Karen is asking.
Yes, absolutely. So we have Uncanny X-Men 493, which is that one. And we've got Captain America number 6, which is that one. Oh, wait. Yeah. And then we have Superman 204. Those are the only 3 that are still claimed. The other ones were eliminated.
All right, the Messiah X-Men, the Nazi Cap,
and
the Stoic Superman. Got it.
Yep.
And okay, so yeah, now that we're done with that was great. That's what sucks. If there's one thing, and this really isn't a complaint, it's just a statement in general that sucks about Cover Combat, is the deeper we get to the better covers, the shorter the segment becomes. So it sucks. Because another thing me and Johnny were talking about is, I could stand if we had the content somehow with a cover combat for it to be the 3-hour show, the whole show,
Yeah,
I
we
miss
can
the
talk a
other
lot.
stuff, but it's so much fun. What, Mike? Sorry about that. What
To
do you
say, yeah, we can talk more in depth about the covers and but then I guess the first time we see all the covers and then we talk about them, what else can you say?
Yeah.
But I agree.
So a couple things. First of all, everybody vote, please. You can vote in the comments of this video, or you can go to the Facebook post, like Mike says. He's going to post at XcellarComics on Facebook. You can vote there or on the comments of this video. But please vote. We want to get more votes in. It is great having the more votes we have and the better mix of folks we have voting makes this that much funner. So we really appreciate everybody voting. And I need some help voting for the right covers. So everything I vote for wins. So that's I want more people there. And then lastly, before we move on, reminder that this is the final week you can claim a book. Claim in the comment. And this can only be in the comments of the YouTube video to claim which book you think is going to be the champ. And if you are attached to XcellarComics in any way, you win a reprint of the first appearance of whatever characters on the cover you choose. If you are not attached to XcellarComics in any way and you correctly pick the champ, you win in the 1 through 6 limited series Infinity Gauntlet, the first Infinity Gauntlet series. So that's big. So get your vote in every week and influence who you think the champ is going to be. That here's a way you can literally cheat yourself into winning a big prize. Right, Pat?
That's right.
All right. Excuse me. So Pat. We wanted to change things up this week because you got a tight schedule. So we're moving. No, we're doing pick 3 next, right? We're still doing pick 3 next.
Either way.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, just ask you, Pat, did that go a little bit long? Because that actually went a little bit longer than expected. Would you prefer to do your On the Horizon now or pick 3? It's up to you.
Pick 3 is good.
All right, awesome.
Mike's good.
Here we go.
Let's go.
Cool. What we got?
All right. This is what we have. This week, it was I was struggling to get through it. I was not really feeling it until I got done. And then I put them all together and looked at them again. And as I scrolled through them, I really felt better about it. I actually liked it. So,
yeah, you should. This, in my opinion, this is probably your best straight up 10 covers in, I'd say definitely in 2023 for sure. In my humble opinion.
Yeah, as a collector.
I think I wanted to vote. And actually, I think I told you I wanted to vote for every single one of these, but there's one that I don't think made my top 3. Everything else is pretty equal, though.
Yep. Yeah, there's definitely one that it got no love from anybody.
Ironically enough, the one that I'm talking about got lots of love from my house. So I'm actually, I must be wrong.
All right, so we'll start with, oh, you know what? I messed that up. Spawn. I messed up what issue number that is. On my paperwork, I put number 1.
Oh, that's definitely not Spawn number 1.
339.
Yeah.
Spawn 339. Simone Bianchi. Next up, X-Men number 20. One of the Alex Ross Timeless covers. And there are a few of those coming out every week, so it's they're all good. You got to kind of pick which one that week is the best one.
I got every single one of them. I can't wait till they start rolling in. I guess they'll start rolling in this month.
Did you get the heroes also?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so you're going to have both sets of...
Well, let me restate that. I tried to get the heroes, but I wasn't... I think when all the heroes came out, I wasn't regularly using DCBS yet, so
Right.
I missed out on a few of the heroes. But I tried.
Right.
But with DCBS, if they offered one of the villains, I got it. Every single one. Yep.
Yeah, that'll look nice. I want to see those when you get them together. Next up, Moon Knight 21, Alex Horley. When I first saw this, I think I shared this with Tyler months ago when I first saw it solicited. So I thought, oh, that's a cool cover. Ty's gonna love that.
This reminds me of like old Boris Vallejo artwork. It's like, it's like very what's the kind of term for that kind of fantasy sci-fi art, kind of look.
Yeah.
Doesn't it kind of look that way to you?
Yeah, I think the color palette is
that what it
real,
is? Yeah.
Yeah, and of course the painted look. Yeah. All right. I didn't want to do more Alex Ross covers, but that's Fantastic Four #5. I just thought it was so great. The colors are great. Yeah, that's why I put that one up there.
What say you on that one, Pat? I'm curious.
Not a huge fan, and my wife says it's horrible.
Oh, geez.
Because of the colors or the art or anything in particular, or nothing in
She
particular?
commented that she did not like the colors or the art.
Oh, yeah.
It's everything I liked about it. That's funny. All right.
All right.
Next up, Poison Ivy #10, Xcellar Partridge. And I like this one because it was really different. Different color palette, different pose.
Yeah. Very artsy. Yeah.
And then I had to do another Fantastic Four #5, which I was breaking all my own rules this time. The same artist, the same book. This is Chris Bacalo, but it's hard for me to not say Baccello because way back in the 90s when I first saw him, I misread it as Baccello, and that's the way I've always said it.
That's okay. I say Brian Michael Bendis when I mean Barry Windsor Smith. So it's all right. Is this the same Fantastic Four book? Just two different covers for the same book? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yep. And then Batman 133, Jorge Jimenez. Man, that guy is just, I think he's one of the best right now full-time artists.
Wow.
He's doing covers. He's doing interiors. A lot of these guys are just doing covers. He's doing the works.
Who's that? Jorge Jimenez, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Chelsea also had an issue with this cover. She's like, come on, this guy's going to make Batman. And I tried to explain to her, I bet you Mike picked this cover because it's like a throwback to the old, the nostalgic to the covers where the digging your own grave. And I said, I guarantee you that's why he picked it.
Yeah, like where Superman and Batman were making those guys. Was it both of them?
They were making Robin.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Next up, what's that?
I just said, okay.
Flash 1 Minute War #1. This is actually a reprint of 2 issues. I think it might say it in the bottom there. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But this is a reprint of 2 of the most recent books.
Oh, wow.
Collected into it. Roger Cruz did this one. This is out of all of them, I think this is the most classic looking comic book style, comic book art. The other ones are all painted and real stylistic. And this is here's just a comic book cover.
Yeah, and I love when all the Flash characters get together, and I love the title of it. I didn't know it was a reprint, The 1 Minute War. That's awesome for Flash. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's I don't know why they did this. I guess instead of reprinting 2 issues, because I think the storyline is gaining some traction. I think it's probably pretty good. So they just combined 2 issues and stuck them in here. We'll see. I ordered it just because. And then we have Silver Surfer Ghostlight #2, Alex Maleev, and then Nightcrawlers 2, Lionel Francis Yu.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that Nightcrawlers book though.
Yeah, neither do I. I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah.
And after I put it up there, I was looking at them all closer. I was like, man, Thor's face is jacked.
Yeah, it is. I think I had to zoom in because Ayla was asking me, is Thor's face? Is he old in this book or is he beat up? And I was like, zoomed in and concluded it's beat up. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So in third place, we did have a tie for first, and then I had to do a tiebreaker. But in third place, we have. Wait a minute. I lost. I lost one of the books.
Yeah, I hate that. That's because you left and came back.
Oh. Can you re-add them real quick?
Yeah.
'Cause I got some things I could say about these covers while you do that.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. I've got to see if I can find that one. Go ahead.
So, man, Pat, isn't that Silver Surfer cover ridiculous?
In what way?
Awesome.
Yeah, I liked it.
Okay, good.
That was probably my favorite cover of the week.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say. I think that's probably gonna be the winner. That was my prediction. Is that your? Well, since you just said that, is that your prediction that this will win this week?
I don't know if it'll win, but I think it deserves a spot in the top 3.
Yeah, and then I was thinking that about the Dark Phoenix too. But then my family, Karen's chiming in saying, so these covers come out this week. Correct, Karen. They come out. The date's right on there. Comes out March 8th, which is this coming Wednesday, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, Karen, all the pick 3 covers all come out the following Wednesday after the show goes live. Yeah.
And I do have a rule with books that I put up there. I don't use ratio variants. So 1 in 10, 1 in 25, 1 in 50. I don't do artist exclusives to where you would have to order it from their website, or store exclusives where you'd have to buy it from a store. When I'm watching some of these shows and they're talking about the hot books and stuff like that, and they'll say this book is hot because it's selling for this price and it's a 1 in 100. I don't care about. I'm not part of that market.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So I want to hear about the books that I can walk into the store on most Wednesdays and even Friday after the books have been out for a few days and pick it up.
Yeah.
So that's what I try.
Karen's got a follow-up question asking in Pennsylvania as well. Karen, yes, this is the same everywhere. Yeah.
Yep.
California. I would, may I be so bold as to say England even. I guess is the comics come out on Wednesday in England, I'd assume.
I don't know. They probably do, but it might be, maybe they're getting last week's books now or something. I don't know.
Now, we used to have somebody, we could get a hookup in England to answer that question. If Johnny were here, he might be able to answer, because I think he told me he picked, or remember he told us he checked out a comic store in England when he was over there. That would be interesting to know, though. Patrick, do you know?
I do not.
That'd be cool, right? To know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, we
Join
will.
us next week. We'll have the answer.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Now you committed us. That's your job, Mike.
Oh,
You're the comic researcher.
All right. I'll find it. All right. So let's go with number 3. Number 3. Where are we? And number 3 is Poison Ivy. Number 10.
Wow.
I think the Raymond household elevated this book.
This is the one I was talking about. This is the only one that I probably wouldn't have put in my top 3 that, I couldn't believe, almost everyone in the Raymond family voted for this one. I was shocked.
Yeah,
what say you, Pat?
That was one of my picks.
Yeah.
Man, we're no different. It's amazing.
So, it was Lexi, Patrick.
Can you guys hear that, by the way? I'm sorry.
Yes, that's okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to get ready.
That's okay.
Let me run through these. I know we're up against it. All right, number two. This tied for first, but I had to use a tiebreaker. And Kevin was close. It tied for first, so somebody's got to come in second. The Alex Ross, Timeless X-Men number 20.
That's a beautiful book. I can't wait to have it.
Yep. Yeah, that's nice. And then with the same amount of votes, but winning the tiebreaker, we have Moon Knight, number 21. by Alex.
I'm
Ross.
telling you, this is probably Pat, does this cover your I'm tired of seeing Moon Knight in the same way, does this kind of break that mold for you? Do you like this cover partially because of that?
The thing that disqualified this for me is I didn't like his chest piece. I don't know, for some reason I really did dislike that, so that made me throw this one out.
Oh wow. But this is at least outside the box, right? I mean, I loved how original this was. Yeah. And I think, I've talked up heavy metal a lot recently. And yeah, I think this is probably my favorite Moon Knight cover for a long time that I can remember. I love this, and and that's all I can think is it's really it's the same reason I love Death Dealer. That's an ongoing series right now, man. I love that kind of art so much.
Yeah. So the books that got no love, Nightcrawlers.
Okay.
No votes. I wasn't surprised.
Okay.
And surprisingly, Flash only received 1 vote.
Oh yeah, that is like you said, or like I said too. It was such a great week. I mean, you can only vote for 3, so
yeah. And the 1 vote was my boy Marcus, because
he loves the Flash.
He's a diehard Flash fan.
Right.
Yep. So that is this week's pick 3, and next week we already have next week's 10 covers selected, and it's a guest selection by Marcus. I sat with him, and I said, buddy, you want to pick all of next week's? And he said, yeah. So I sat with him and he picked them. So next week are all Mark's.
Wow. Okay.
It's kind of it's like his birthday's next week, so it's a little birthday gift for him.
Nice.
Yep. So that's it. And all right.
Good stuff, Mike. Good job.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, as I mentioned already, Patrick's in a time crunch today, so we're mixing up the shows segments a little bit. Essentially, the big one is now moving collectibles on the horizon up, so Pat can check out on time for his things he's got to take care of. But we're so thankful he was here at all. So let's get into this. Nice. All right, what you got, Pat? We're heading back to Springfield. Maybe that might be later, I guess. Pat?
Almost there, guys. I apologize.
All right, no problem.
What happened was, have you ever seen the file name extension like JJIJ or something? It's like a GIF or a JPEG, but I don't know why I started getting all my files in that format, but apparently they don't like StreamYard. So,
oh, geez.
Just give me one more second here and I'll get them on there.
Okay. And then it also booted you. So that probably created issues for you too, right?
I was still here. I just muted because it kept making that chime. So.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Let's see here. I'm sorry. What are you guys hoping to see in the horizon this week?
Well, I did actually see, I think, the second wave of the Dungeons and Dragons animated the cartoon series. I think I saw is coming out, and I think I saw the I don't know whether you do much pop stuff, because we kind of had a pop segment, but I saw a couple new Mandalorian season 3 pops that I was interested in.
Okay.
And then what's the last thing? I think I saw some new Star Wars came out as well. But I'll say this too, since we're going into this segment too. For the first time in a very long while, I actually bought 2 action figures this week. I bought the what's the 50th anniversary edition Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. What's that? The 8-inch. It's big. It's a little bit bigger than the regular size one. Is that, or is it 10-inch? Those anniversary series of Star Wars figures.
The Star Wars Black on the retro cards.
No. It literally says 50th anniversary, and it just says Return of the Jedi on the card. It's like a reprint of the old Return of the Jedi Boba Fett, or a remake. You haven't seen those? Remember they did that with Empire Strikes Back?
Those are Star Wars Black, but they're just in retro carded form.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So they're 6-inch.
That's not the one I'm talking about. I'm gonna have to show you.
Okay. Is it, unless it's like Diamond Select?
Oh, I'll show you. But anyway, and then the second thing I got was, speaking of the Dungeons and Dragons, was I finally found them in my local Target.
Okay.
So I got the Archer. They've got the Archer and the Barbarian and the Unicorn. I always forget everybody's name, but anyway, the only one.
Open them?
Huh?
Did you open them?
Oh yeah, I opened it and displayed it already. Yeah.
No breakage, missing pieces, or anything like that.
No. Although I will say the design's a little faulty. The Archer comes with 2 bows. One where he's not pulling it back, so it's basically just the bow itself,
Right. Yeah.
And then the other one where it simulates him putting it back, so it shows the energy arrow formed. That doesn't work in his hands at all in any way. I tried to set him up with that because I'd prefer that, but I couldn't get it to work in any way. I tried to do it exactly the way they have it on the box too, and it just wasn't happening for me. I don't know. Maybe it's me, but yeah, no breakage. It was in good shape. All the parts were there. Although the ankles are a bit weak because I set them up on a stand, that's got the little feet hooks in it or whatever. But the stand I have only has 1 foot hook in it. And when I picked it up, he literally wanted to fall off, but the foot stayed there, but he wanted to fall off because the ankles are so weak. But it was in good shape though.
Yeah.
And I saved the box, but I couldn't help but take it out. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's visit our old standby these days, Todd McFarlane.
Okay.
He's doing his winter showcase, and he showed the Batman Hush Superman from the winter showcase. I think this Superman is too muscular for me or something. I don't know. He looks weird.
Oh, I like it a lot. Although obviously the pin joints are out like crazy, but I think I like that size Superman. That's pretty cool.
His chest just looks like, I mean, I know it's Superman, but
just too big, huh? Yeah,
too big. Batman Nightfall Batman, and you can see Bane teased in the foreground there, so I'm sure he's coming too. He might be a Build-A-Figure or something. That's a very nice classic looking Batman, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, the Batman's way better than the Superman.
I agree with that.
I'm not talking about Cover Combat.
No, I like this a lot. That's gorgeous. I'm gonna pick that one up definitely.
Yeah. We have Steel. I mean, he looks like Steel.
Yeah, that's a pretty good looking Steel. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a pretty close resemblance.
Yeah,
almost perfect, I'd say.
And another Robin. This is Tim Drake Robin from Robin Reborn miniseries. I mean,
pretty cool.
I don't like his 3D Robin insignia on his chest.
Oh.
But that may have been how he looked in the comics. I don't know.
Maybe how he is in the comics is actually protruding a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we got some actual Spawn figures. We got Medieval Spawn. I'm sorry. We'll just do Monolith.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was going to say. That's not Medieval Spawn. That's pretty awesome. Oh, man. That's cool.
Yeah. You have to definitely be the judge here, Kevin, because I have no familiarity with these characters except for Medieval.
Yeah. That looks awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's Medieval Spawn.
That is Medieval. I think he's my second favorite Spawn, actually. He's so awesome. Yeah.
He looks really good. And this guy, I have no idea. Sin.
Remember, he was on the cover of that one comic I reviewed.
Okay.
That I'd never heard of him before either.
Okay.
where I was asking whether that was a a key, because that was the first appearance, and obviously you guys didn't know either. But this doesn't look like it. I mean, it does. It does and it doesn't. It you can definitely see the similarities, but he was definitely more ghost-like or something, or there was a lot of, how the Spawn art is anyway. There's like always these streaming lights and glows on people and stuff. So maybe if you took all those away from the art, he would look more like this. But yeah. That character was cool, that's for sure.
And then we had he used to do the movie Maniacs line, and apparently that's coming back. They're doing a few Warner Brothers related characters. Bugs Bunny dressed as Superman, which I think is a really nice sculpt.
Yeah, that is awesome.
I like that one a lot.
We have Wicked Witch of the West from Wizard of Oz.
So these aren't posable; these are just figs, basically.
That I'm not 100% on. Todd showed them in the box, so I'm not sure. You know what? I take that back. He did have one of these out of the box because he was showing all the accessories they come with. I would say they're more like I kind of commented last week about limited articulation. There might be a few things that are adjustable, but
that not awesome though too. Yeah,
not on the articulation level is like the DC multiverse figures.
Gotcha.
And then that show I've never watched, but everybody seems to love it. Ted Lasso.
I know. I need to get to that. That's only on Apple TV, and I don't. I'm not an Apple guy, but my kids are, and I think my daughter told me I can get Apple on my Xbox now, so Apple TV on my box. So I need to check this out because everybody seems to love this. And have you seen scenes of it on TikTok and stuff like that? I
really don't know anything about it.
Oh man,
everybody loves it.
It looks so good.
I don't know anything about it either.
I would bet a dime to a dollar that both of you would love the scenes that I've seen of this. You would love this show too as well. As far as I know, I would love it. I think you guys would as well. He seems to be a great character. This is what's his name from
another show that I never watched.
No, he isn't it? No, is he in The Office? No,
it's Pete. I should know. I do know. He'll come to me 5 minutes from now.
Well, I know he was on
Sudeikis.
On that show with all the drugs and stuff.
Well, he was in the new Vacation movie, or no, he was. No, that's Andy. I was confused. Yeah, I was confused this guy with Andy, I guess. But what's he in? He's in a lot of stuff though. But you would know him, Mike.
Saturday Night Live. He's Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah, but what's he known for aside from this show?
Night Live.
That's not what I know him for because I haven't watched Saturday Night Live in forever.
I'll look it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, look it up, Mike. But anyway, cool character. I mean, cool figure. It looks good.
Yeah, and the last movie, Maniacs, Harry Potter.
Oh, geez, we all got to own this. Dadgum.
So they all come with like a backdrop. You can kind of see it in the pictures there. They come with a base. And they also come with some kind of mystery thing. Todd had it in this video. It was in like a little cardboard box at the bottom. He kind of shook it. It sounded like maybe it was like, what I think it is like a movie poster or something like that. Or, I don't know. But it's like a mystery pack-in that he wasn't showing.
I'm surprised I didn't see a video of that, what you're talking about with that video. I usually get his. I'm surprised I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he got licensed to make a Harry Potter figure too.
Yeah, it's all Warner. These are all Warner Brothers 100th anniversary or something. So, yeah.
Well, he looks pretty good though. This must be like first year Harry or second maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer the McFarlane figures with the limited articulation.
Oh yeah? I don't.
Yeah. I mean, you look at that Superman. It's like there's the pins are just way too much.
Yeah, I agree with that. But a lot of them you can't notice them that much. I don't know why they stand out sometimes and don't other times. Do you know why, Pat?
I mean, it just depends on what joints they used. Plus, I think a lot of times it has to do with the color choice of the plastic. Just so you see them, they stand out more with certain colors, I think.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
See Batman's knees there.
Yeah.
they're using a different kind of pin system for the knees.
Yeah.
So they definitely do not stand out as much as
Nowhere near.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Marvel had a big live stream this week, and they showed a lot of cool stuff. A lot of, first announcements. You're not going to see anything in package here except for one. We'll do that one first. They're going to continue with the VHS retro line for Spider-Man, and they have a Doc Ock Aunt May 2-pack. Again, this is from the animated series, so you got that animated look. There's Doc Ock with all his accessories. I think he's a pretty well done figure. If you like that. And Aunt May, Aunt May from that series. Again, if anybody remembers, I'm not a fan of that 90s animated series. So none of these are all a pass for me. So, but I know it has a big fan base.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of these figures. I never watched that animated show.
Yeah.
I am, and it's good, and I love them. And I was just getting ready to say, I wish I could afford them all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have these displayed though. I'd have them kept in their boxes, and I'd have like VHS, VHS shelf, and like that.
Yeah. It is clever packaging, but man, if you're just getting it for the boxes, that's kind of expensive box.
Yeah, I'll probably be able to just go on eBay afterwards and just buy them anyway.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
So they basically, even though I showed that first because that was the first packaged example of what they showed this week. They basically split it into two halves. One half was Avengers, one half was Spider-Man. So these may be just sort of mixed together because of how things got shuffled in. So we'll flip back and forth. Here is the Super Adaptoid with the Avengers powers. I believe he's going to be a Build-A-Figure. And you can see him next to the Skrull Queen / Spider-Woman, because in Secret Invasion, Spider-Woman was abducted and taken over by Skrulls. She was one of the many Marvel heroes that was infiltrated, and their Skrull doppelgangers took over. That she just shown there for scale. Here she is in another shot with the Super Adaptoid. The Super Skrull, also from the Secret Invasion time.
I like that Skrull. I don't like the Adaptoid at all, though.
You don't like him?
No, especially since I'm sure he's going to be double priced because he's so big.
Well, I think he's a Build-A-Figure, so you'll get pieces.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you'll get pieces of him. I'm not 100% on that though, so
okay.
Who knows?
But you like him?
He's all right. I was not, he's kind of boring. He's cool, but he's boring because he's all green, But that's true to the comics.
Yeah.
I'll try to stick to the Avengers here. We have a new Bucky cap. He was one of the very first Marvel Legends when they relaunched under Hasbro. This is on a different body. If you're a fan of the character, you'll probably like this. If not,
that's very cool. I think that's cool.
I know I have the original, the first run from the relaunch of Marvel Legends, but I'm a
in
big
the package still.
Say that again, Kevin.
In the package still.
He is still in the package, yeah. But I'm a big fan of this Alex Ross costume design, and Bucky is Captain America. So
yeah,
I think it's pretty cool. This is I don't know if this is a 2-pack, but this is the 90s era Avengers when they wore the bomber jackets, and we have Cersei and Black Knight with his energy sword, not the ebony blade there.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, that was Bob Harris' run as a writer, and that's when I started sort of checking out of the Avengers, not really digging what they were doing. But I know that again, there's a lot of fans of that stretch of Avengers stories.
What her power was throwing spaghetti? Is that what it was? I'm just kidding.
And this, I don't know if they didn't really say if these were going to be 2-packs or not, but they're going and doing some Secret Wars stuff. So they have Dr. Doom from the Secret Wars and Captain Marvel. However, I don't know what they're going to call her. I think they called her Photon on the live stream, but at this time she was known as Captain Marvel. And I think that Captain Marvel figure is pretty weak. I don't know.
Oh, really? Why in particular? Do you have a particular reason why?
Her face, head sculpt. I don't know. She looks too spindly. She's so thin there.
Yeah,
I
she's
don't
way
know.
too thin. Her waist is as big as her thighs.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'll go with that measurement. I agree with that measurement that time, Mike.
Right. I think Doom, obviously, you look better with a cape.
Yeah,
He probably has one. I think these are just the prototypes, right?
Well, this is Doom from the Secret Wars, and when he lost, I think his original armor and cape was destroyed, and this is kind of in later in the series what he wore. It was sort of like Iron Man-y looking, and he had that thing around his thigh, and it's pretty. I think it's pretty on model for the later half of Secret Wars.
Okay.
Then we have the Rider series, which is a figure with a vehicle. They've done a few in the past. Here we have Hawkeye and the Sky Cycle.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty well done. They've done Hawkeye before. This is a slightly different Hawkeye. He's got some new parts. They had to give him a cloth tunic so he could ride the Sky Cycle. Previously, it had been like flexible plastic, rubbery type material.
Let me ask you a question regarding Hawkeye. Do you think they could have sold Hawkeye purple with the mask and everything in the Avengers if they wanted to?
Probably not.
No? Think of too much? Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have to be a really dark purple, like almost a blackish purple.
Yeah.
I think the mask and everything would have worked. But also, I'm not the one spending millions to produce it. So
Right. I think they.
I
I personally feel like I probably would have liked it, but I don't. I maybe could have flip flopped on that. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of this look for Hawkeye.
Yeah,
but I don't know if it would translate. I mean, they'd have to tweak it a lot, but yeah.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. A new Thor, a bearded Thor, Walt Simonson looking Thor, along with a distributor. I don't know. Again, I apologize. I don't know if this is a Build-A-Figure. He's definitely oversized. I would assume he's a Build-A-Figure. But
Destroyer's awesome. I mean, they're both awesome. Yeah.
This is the only shot I have of the Destroyer. But they spent a little bit of time on showing him off, and he's like molded in a translucent plastic, but they gave him enough silver highlights. He looks really cool, and I think there's a lot of cool detailing going on in his armor. For what potentially could be a pretty boring looking character, I think they did a really good job on this guy.
True. Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Here, this has to be a 2-pack. It's a first appearance Hulk with Bruce Banner. They've released this Hulk before, but this is a different head sculpt, and now you get Bruce Banner along with it. I think he's got the same body sculpt as Captain Marvel that I just showed a few pictures back.
Were you being funny there? Are you being serious?
I'm trying to be funny.
Okay, it was funny. I was just hoping I wasn't laughing when I.
I like that. I like that set right there.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome, man.
And I'm not sure what the packaging is going to be like for these, but you can almost see it with the the comic background right behind it. It would be pretty cool, but I don't know what they're doing here. This is all part of this big Avengers initiative this year. I think it's the 60th anniversary of the Avengers. And while I'm mentioning that, they teased the next HasLab. The last one was the failed Ghost Rider car. And they're teasing something Avengers related for this next crowdfunded HasLab project. First appearance Iron Man, which I think another, you could think he's sort of a boring looking character, but I think they did a really good job here. He looks great.
Yeah,
he does look pretty cool. Yeah,
I think it's the variations on the gray. It's not just real flat.
Well, it might be the lighting. I don't know if
it's there's probably some lighting there too, but it's that looks great.
And I think that was the final Avengers. Now we move over to Spider-Man. And I will say a lot of this Spider-Man line is existing characters in updated costumes, which, your mileage may vary. I know a lot of people are sour on some of the newer takes on costumes, but we'll see here.
Hey, Pat, are you screenshotting videos for these pics, or these pics they put out?
Yeah, they were direct from the live stream. That's the only pics that have come out so far.
But did you screenshot them the videos? Is that how you got it?
Yes.
That's funny how you got that one because it looks like he's actually holding the button like it's a ball. I was like, what is that ball he's holding? Oh, that's the button on his shirt.
Yep. Just part of the Hasbro team in the background.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean, I like how you're doing that, though. That's good. Yeah.
So moving on to the Spider-Man half of it. Recently, the previous to current Spider-Man series, Ben Reilly took over for a short stint. So they're releasing that version of Ben Reilly with the. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the offset spider on his chest. It looks even weirder, I think, here on the action figure, and I'm not sure why they made his eyes that big because I don't think they were that pronounced in the comic.
You can't even hardly tell it's a spider on his chest.
Yeah.
It's a mess. I don't like it at all.
It's basically the Spider-Man symbol from his old Ben Reilly costume, just shifted up to his, his pec. And it looks kind of weird.
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, that's a fail.
It's so I'm not even sure if a lot of people really even noticed it in the comic that's what was going on because you didn't see him from straight on. You just kind of thought it was, just the perspective you were looking at him, but it was definitely like shifted up and to the corner there. Well, if you don't like that Ben Reilly, I have another Ben Reilly. Where did he go? Oh man, don't tell me that both pictures are up. Oh, here's his back shot. Formerly Ben Reilly, not in his chasm. They made a point to show off his back because they did a lot of detailing on his back. I like the design of Chasm, but I'm not sure they nailed it with this figure. Here he is.
That's pretty good. It's not bad. His face is kind of funky, though, right? Is that what it is for you, or what?
I don't know. It just
it's hard to put your finger on it.
Yeah, it looks too straightforward or something. Like his costume seems more fluid in the comics. A lot more flow to it or something. Not like a straight typical design. I don't know.
Well, obviously I don't know anything about him, but this is obviously he's in Dark Web. He's an Amazing right now, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Which I haven't read an Amazing in a while now, so.
Oh, I found the missing Avenger, Black Widow.
Wow, that looks pretty sweet.
They made a big point that she's on a super articulated body this go around. They've of course released many other Black Widows because she's is featured in the Avengers movie and so forth. But this they made a point to mention the new body style for her.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah. More Spider-Man. Back to Spider-Man. We have Miles Morales. And I know a lot of people have problems with that.
Yeah, that hoodie is terrible.
Yeah, I don't like that either. Is that actually plastic looking like a solid torso there, or is that like a shirt that's going over a torso? Do you know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, is it a fabric or plastic shirt that's you can take on and off kind of thing, or is it that actually how the torso looks?
I don't think it's removable the way it looks.
Yeah, that looks bad.
Yeah, that's a fail too.
Mike's not getting this one. He's got an excuse. It's not just because he's broke.
Let's see here. Sorry, I have a peanut gallery, and he wanted me to mention that this looks like the Prowler to him.
Ah, I see.
The Prowler?
Yeah. Well, the colors, his wrist.
Yeah.
His wrists, I can see that.
Another Spider character with an updated outfit. This one I do like because I thought it was a nice update in the comics. Is the Jessica Drew Spider-Woman. I like this costume.
I like that one.
I don't like that one either.
Yeah.
It's just too flat. It's not enough going on. It's like, yeah, very little happening here.
A villain, Tarantula.
That's how she looks in the comics, though. Then I can understand how you guys would like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Spider-Woman fan in general.
Yeah.
This guy is one of my favorites, and I think this looks awesome. Man, this guy doesn't get enough hype, in my opinion. He was on the cover of the first Spider-Man I ever bought. I love Tarantula. He's awesome. I thought his character was cool too. In the first Spider-Man I ever read too was his storyline. And
I think he kind of ebbs and flows. I think sometimes they kind of make him the butt of some jokes, but
yeah,
he's a cool looking character.
Kirk Coiner, thanks for the comment. It's a garbage bag, I'm sure, on that Miles Morales.
Right, Miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like it must be raining. I'll just get a trash bag, make a raincoat out of it.
All right, thanks for the comments, Kirk. Yeah, I think everyone agrees with that. Yeah.
And then the last Spider character in the last Hasbro. Oh no, there's two here. I forgot another villain. Let's show him the Rose. I mean, you're either a fan of this guy or not. I was never a big fan. I think he looks fine, but I don't know if he's going to be a big seller.
Yeah, I think the figure looks good, but I agree. I don't think there's going to be a big demand for him.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan, and I don't think the figure looks good. So take that.
I like his shoes. Those are cool shoes.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the last one.
Are his gloves supposed to match his mask cover, or are they supposed to be off? Do you know?
No, they match his tie.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Why wouldn't his mask match his tie and his gloves?
I don't know.
Or I don't know how to match colors though. Does purple match whatever kind of puke blue you want to call that? I don't know. Maybe it does match. Anyway.
Yeah. Here is the last one. This is a figure that I was surprised and excited to see. And it's Elektra as Daredevil. And there is an alternate head with her scarf wrapped around it. You see her a lot with the scarf up around her face. Yeah. So this gives me hope that they do a updated Daredevil.
Yeah.
Another comment from Kirk Coiner. He borrowed shoes from the Hulk. They look huge.
Yeah.
They do look big. Indigo blue is the color of his gloves and his tie, and his mask is purple. Thank you, Karen. I got a question about Elektra's.
Elektra.
Yeah. First of all, that does look awesome. I would totally want to buy that. Too busted out of the package and post it just like that. That looks so cool. But are you a fan of Daredevil Elektra, Pat, in general, the story?
Yes.
Okay. Mike?
Although I am surprised that she continues to wear the Daredevil outfit. I'm not sure why. They never really have explained that, I don't think.
Yeah. I don't have an opinion yet because I haven't read those. They're in my I've got them all. I've got the whole Zdarsky run up to where he is right now.
Yeah, me too.
I need to read because I think Patrick's even said it. It's probably one of the best stories being told right now in comics.
Yeah, I think he's mentioned that too. Yeah. We're missing out, Mike. We're missing out.
Yeah. So visually, I think she looks cool. Now, whether I would prefer to see her at, I think it like kind of what Patrick said, probably a short amount of time. It's awesome, but okay, enough already. Let's get back to Elektra.
Yeah. It still does work for me in the books. They both visually look cool together, but I'm not sure why she wouldn't revert back.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that Daredevil Matt's back in the picture. She did this because Matt was in prison. I guess I shouldn't say that if you're waiting to read the book, but and it's not a huge spoiler. But that's
I had heard that anyway. Yeah.
So that's why she took on the mantle, but now he's back, so I'm not sure why she just isn't reverting.
Well, answer me this: why would she take on the mantle though? Why couldn't she just do what Daredevil did as Elektra though? Do they kind of have an explanation for that? Because
they do.
She's not fooling anybody. She's actually Daredevil.
Right. They just, it is explained. She just wanted a devil in Hell's Kitchen. So.
Okay.
I think I looked at one of the recent issues because I looked through them all. Looked in the back, and I thought, I think Elektra's done or something like that as Daredevil. I don't know what made me think that, because I don't even remember what the last panel was, but maybe we'll see.
Okay.
Sorry, spoiler alert for I'm not even reading it.
And
But I could be wrong. I'm not reading it, so I could be wrong.
And of
And
course,
just-
Kevin, you have she's in Secret Avengers with this outfit too, correct?
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And spoiler
I like
alert,
her
here,
name.
that series is over as well. You gonna finish
Yeah.
review on that series, Kev?
Well, I actually stopped whenever Conan left. I didn't
Oh,
continue
okay.
reading past that point. But is it over now? For real?
The last issue just came out.
Oh, okay.
Well, I just got the last issue. Yeah, a couple weeks.
Okay.
Sorry, Patrick. Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
I
I
just
think
wanted.
that was. Yeah, go ahead.
That's messed
Sorry,
up. That's so messed up.
I just wanted to get Kurt Coiner's comment in there too. He said he thinks this Daredevil Elektra action figure is awesome as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Sorry, Kirk.
I saved you a lot of time. It sounds like enjoyment too. I saved you some fun. Sorry.
Yeah, you traded. Now you don't have to waste your money, but you lost the fun.
Okay, so I think I nailed all my out of order Hasbro stuff. So we'll move on to the teas. And last week we talked about the Simpsons Ultimate figures. They're more deluxe line. Well, they've also been doing a reaction, a 3 3/4 inch line. But they've been sort of picking and choosing, sort of like the Office figures, Threat Level Midnight, not doing the main Office, but doing weird offshoots.
Okay.
And so we're gonna back up a little bit with reaction. And they did the first wave of Simpsons they did for reaction was a McBain wave. I mean, okay.
This is some
Yeah.
deep cuts. They're going for the true fans.
Yeah. And the second wave, I think both of these, McBain is definitely out, and I think wave 2 is hitting right now, and that is the Troy McClure wave.
Oh, my
Oh
God.
man.
And they're they always complain about the Super 7 reaction figures having a sort of a high price point at $20. Well, these $20 reactions are 2-packs. They come with the Troy McClure figure and a little sidekick character.
That's great.
I mean, it is great, but yeah, that's a diehard fan market there, I guess.
Yes,
Right?
very, very deep cut, even for the Simpsons. I mean,
Yeah.
So here, for wave 3, I think they've switched gears a little bit. Maybe it was sales related, maybe it wasn't, but these hit a little closer to home. They're doing a Treehouse of Horror wave. So we've got Kang Dole. That's probably I'm building up here.
Okay.
I think you'll probably get, if you're a big fan, you'll probably get the whole wave, but that's probably one, if you're just picking and choosing, you probably pass on. Of course, I think Kang Dole lost to Clinton, and here we go, Grim Reaper Homer.
Man, oh man.
We have Inside Out Bart.
Great.
They are awesome.
And we have Skeleton Marge with Snowball 1, 2 in her rib cage, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yep.
That is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely these are the more affordable of the Super 7 Simpsons figures. And I think these will definitely be more, popular with the, average consumer that sees on Target shelves versus the Troy McClure and McBain waves of Simpsons figures. So, yeah.
So are all these around $20?
Yeah. As far as I know, they're still at that, all reaction figures are holding at that $19.99 retail.
Yeah. I mean, that's like $10 too much for me.
Yep.
I would buy these for $10 all day long.
I totally agree with you.
but at 20, I can't do it.
Yep.
Yeah, Target's starting to carry all these a lot. They're in the back section behind the books and the video games or whatever. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so that's it for the Horizon.
Those are great. I love those.
Yeah, as usual. Awesome.
Let me get Homer out of here. There you go.
Loved them. Yeah, man, you know, I am particularly stretched financially right now, but yeah, when I bought that Dungeons and Dragons figure and that new Boba Fett, man, that just opens this floodgate of just obviously I'm wanting them more, and then man, when you show me the great, I'm literally, I can guarantee you right now, as soon as I catch that Batman in the store, I'm grabbing it because that Batman's awesome.
Yeah,
So.
I'm probably gonna pass. I'll just look at yours. And like Xcellar, I'm like, yeah, look how awesome that is. Save me some money.
Yeah, I love the way my shelf looks with basically the action figures that I do have displayed. So I've got my, Wave 1 original release of Spawn beside the Secret Wars Wolverine, beside the Dungeons and Dragons Archer, beside the first Captain America I got, so it's a great shelf. That's and all my I don't have any one Batman broken out of the packaging though. They're all still in the package. But that's probably going to change as well, Want to get a lot of displays going on my bookshelves in my shed. So you're helping me decide what happens there. All right, so are you just going to hang out until you have to go, or are you calling it now, or what?
Yeah, I'm calling it now. I'm going to take off. Hope you guys have a good rest of the show, and I'll catch the replay.
All right, understood. Like I said, really appreciate you coming in here, even though you're stretched on time, man. It was awesome. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Yeah, well, here's my. I will say that Mandalorian was a little bit of a letdown, and The Last of Us was also a little bit of a letdown for me this week.
Well, we halfway agree. Stay tuned. You'll find out why.
Thank you.
All right, I can't wait. We're gonna have to follow up on that next week, though. Definitely. So.
Yep, sounds good. We'll
All
see
right,
you
see you
guys.
later, man. All right.
See you, Patrick. Bye, Valor.
All right, and Kirk Corner was commenting. He's got a lot of sick Spawn stuff. That's awesome. Spawn's my man, Kirk. I love some great Spawn action figures. I'd have more if I had the money, but I've got some great ones with the limited funds I have. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I used to work with Kirk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, at the comic book store in Butler.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
I worked with him a little bit. He was running the store for a while, but I remember all the Spawn stuff.
Is he still in Butler?
No.
Oh.
Nobody's still in Butler. Come on. Well, except for Patrick.
Johnny's in Butler. Johnny and his new bride and his family. But anyway, so I'm a little depressed. I hope you're able to fit the bill, Mike. No offense. With what I have to say about during what Kevin watched, because there is some things I needed Pat for, but I'm hoping you come through with especially one of them. So,
all right, we'll see. That was a couple years ago, couple 20.
Yeah, a couple decades maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into this though, because I got a lot to say.
Let's go.
All right, so my first thing, I don't know if you've ever seen this. This is not new. This is very old. Actually, I don't exactly know how old it is. I probably should have researched that before I'm doing a review on the show. But anyway, you'll know it, though.
All right.
R.I.P.D. with
I
Jeff
do
Bridges
remember.
and Ryan Reynolds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see this when it was out originally?
No. Man, I'm such a big Jeff Bridges fan.
Yeah.
I'm mad that I haven't seen it. And Ryan Reynolds, I like Ryan Reynolds too, but Jeff Bridges goes back to when I was a kid and seeing him in King Kong. I have not seen this.
Yeah, and I think this is actually out before Ryan Reynolds kind of really became a big thing too, but he was starting to, he's definitely recognizable, but I think this was before he was really as big as he is now definitely. But the reason I watched this is because this actually became the #1 viewed movie on Netflix because they just added it to Netflix. Okay. And so I wanted to, you know how it goes. I remembered it, but I didn't remember it. And I wanted to refresh my memory, and I'll get back to this in a second and talk about it more. But I wanted to refresh my memory because this is kind of, I'm telling you, I feel like an influencer sometimes, like a legit influencer, because things happen in society that I feel like Karen says RIPD was out in 2013. Thank you, Karen. So I feel like an influencer because things happen in society that just seem to be too much of a coincidence for me to believe it couldn't have been me. You know how that goes, Mike, right? Okay. So this is what happened. I wanted to watch RIPD 2, The Rise of the Damned, which I do believe this is fairly new because it just was on my radar probably in the last couple of months. And thank you, Karen. Karen says I definitely am an influencer. Appreciate it. But what happened was when I wanted to watch this, I did the Google search to see where I could watch RIPD. And sure enough, it wasn't anywhere to be watched. So then I didn't watch this because I wanted to remind myself exactly what was up with RIPD. Because honestly, with RIPD, I couldn't remember past like maybe the first, like I remember how it started, but I couldn't remember anything else in it. So I was thinking maybe I didn't finish it, so I wanted to watch all of RIPD. So I Googled it and looked it up and nowhere to be found. Sure enough, here we are. This is probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. And RIPD is not only on Netflix, but it's the #1 viewed movie. So I'm like,
you know what happened? It's sitting there and someone's going, hey, someone looked for it. Get that out. We got somebody that wants to watch it. There's like one guy wants to watch it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. But nevertheless, it's the most popular viewed. And I'm not sure exactly whether that's because of Jeff Bridges, Ryan Reynolds, Kevin Bacon, or me. Take your pick. That's obviously one of the 4 of us that made this super popular. But anyway, do you remember what your opinion of this was, Mike?
I don't have one because, like I said, I didn't watch it.
Oh, I thought you said you did. You did.
No,
you
I should have because I like Jeff Bridges a lot.
All right. Well, let me just set you up for Karen's commenting that she's seen it. What'd you say, Mike?
I said, set me up for disappointment.
Well, I guess that should be my first question. Are you checking out? Do you not want to be spoiled on this?
No, you can spoil it. It's been out for quite a long time, 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. So basically what this is you can see right there, rest in peace department. So this kind of fancies itself, in my opinion, why I wanted to originally see it, because I was excited because of this fact that it kind of fancies itself, or if it doesn't, it should, a kind of a Men in Black,
That's what I would gather.
Yeah, but they're not fighting aliens, they're fighting dead people, right? But even more of a twist on it is Jeff Bridges and Ryan Reynolds are actually dead as well. Everyone that works for the RIPD is actually dead as well. Okay. So the world has dead people that for some reason they have enabled themselves. Okay, Kirk. Yeah, I'll chime in on that. Yeah, exactly. Kirk Corner's commenting that it's a Men in Black ripoff. Yeah, I agree with that partially. Okay, Karen says it's #2 on Netflix. It was #1 yesterday, Karen. Okay. Anyway, so back to the story. So the RIPD, they're all dead. The bad dead people that deserve to go to hell have found a way to avoid going to hell. So the RIPD are people that are still walking the earth, and their job is just to basically either capture them and send them to hell, or disintegrate them and make them not exist in general anywhere, whichever one happens during their fight or whatever, right? So And what makes this even trickier too is Ryan Reynolds is a modern day cop that he's actually done some shady things. So, most people would consider him a bad cop. But of course, we've heard this story before, good cop, but he needs money and, he doesn't make enough being a cop, runs across this gold. So he just kind of pockets some of it on his own to, take care of his family, that kind of thing. And he's killed and he's recruited because he is a great cop. So that's kind of similar, like we were talking about with Men in Black. Will Smith's a great cop and, so they hire him to fight aliens. He's a great cop. So when he dies, they hire him to fight. They call him Deados in this movie. So they're fighting the Deados, and Jeff Bridges is a sheriff from the Wild Wild West. So he's actually been a member of the RIPD for like a couple hundred years, so you got this combination of old school, cowboy law, in Jeff Bridges and modern day Ryan Reynolds policing and their team. And Kevin Bacon, as I mentioned, is in this as well. And he's Ryan Reynolds' partner. And spoiler alert for anybody who cares, check out for a couple minutes if you want. But like Mike said, this has been out for a long time. This kind of reminded me of kind of Ghost, and kind of might be a weird comparison again as well. But Patrick Swayze's best friend in Ghost was actually the guy that killed him, and then so Patrick Swayze's trying to, inform his girlfriend to stay away from his best friend, stuff like that. Kevin Bacon's Ryan Reynolds' partner. It's actually Kevin Bacon that killed him and ends up being a Deado. And here's the thing with Deados. They can blend in, okay? And then you can make them pop, basically, is what the terms they use in this movie, where they expose themselves for what they actually are, which they're usually either decomposed or deformed or a combination of both, Walking Dead. And basically you go up to someone that looks normal. And the trick in this, for some reason, the Deados don't like Indian food. So all you have to do is talk about Indian food or sprinkle some curry on them or something. And it makes them, no joke, this is serious. And it makes them pop. So then they expose themselves to these Walking Dead. And that's kind of the gist of this. The main storyline with, that's the big point of this movie is Kevin Bacon's actually wants all this gold that they found, because it's actually this amulet that can bring all the dead back to life on the planet, and they can rule the earth. That's kind of the deal that they're fighting.
Right. Well, I'm not upset you spoiled this. I'm upset that you just spoiled Ghost.
I was gonna say that halfway through, but yeah, if you haven't seen Ghost, sorry. Patrick Swayze's best friend's the bad guy. Karen, why does that keep popping up? We know.
She wants you to say it.
R.I.P.D. 2. Karen saw R.I.P.D. 2.
Karen saw it on Netflix.
Yeah.
What, are you getting paid by Netflix?
Okay, so this movie is horrible. Okay. The only good part about it is Kirkland agrees.
Yeah.
The only good part of it is the actors. But even their acting wasn't very good. I mean, Ryan was fine. Kevin was fine, I guess. But, man, Jeff Bridges, man, he was just over the top ridiculous. I didn't care for his character at all. And the dialogue was just dumb. And the premise was dumb, too. Oh, and another thing, too, is these two are actually walking around hiding as well, just like the Deados are. Mm-hmm. Basically, and that is so they can't go back to their loved ones and say, hey, I'm actually here. Like, Ryan Reynolds' first thing he wants to do when he comes back to the earth to fight the Deados is go to his wife or his fiance. Actually, they aren't married yet, I don't think. It might be his wife. I could be mistaken there. But anyway, he wants to go back to his wife, say, hey, I'm here. I'm not actually gone. I'm here. But the way the RIPD gets around that is they make you look like someone different. And if you try to tell somebody who you actually are, it comes out as gibberish. No one can understand it, right?
Yeah.
So Ryan Reynolds the physical plane sees Ryan Reynolds as an old 5'5" Asian man, and the physical plane sees Jeff Bridges as a very young, extremely attractive, very well built, beautiful female in her maybe late 20s, early 30s. All right, my mom is correcting me about Ghost. Patrick's best friend didn't actually kill him. Okay, you're right, Mom. I was thinking that as I was saying. I wasn't going to correct myself because I didn't think anyone cared. But since you're here, I will correct myself. Okay, his best friend didn't kill him. He was killed by a guy that was working for his best friend. All right, Kurt Coiner agrees. Bridges was horrible. The best actress was Ryan Reynolds' wife. I agree with that. So anyway, so Jeff Bridges is walking around like this really super hot supermodel female, and Ryan Reynolds is walking around as this 5'5" old Asian guy. And that's what's part of the most ridiculous thing to me in this is, you know, like the real world's like taking them seriously. I mean, like they're being detectives looking like that. Okay. Which she can play her beautifulness to kind of woo men. Jeff Bridges, his character, he is whatever, confusing as heck to talk about, can woo men with her beauty. But, you know, this little Asian guy, it's just silly. Unenjoyable. And that's the other part of this movie that's kind of confusing to me too. It like wants you to take the story seriously half the time, and then then it's a joke of itself a majority of the time. So it's just you just can't wrap your brain around enjoying any moment because you don't know what you're supposed to be in. You know, it's so weird. And then the last factor that I'd say that makes this really, really bad is the Deados are hiding, but then they seem to enjoy when they pop because they don't have to be hiding anymore. And then they're fighting these Deados. And at least in Men in Black, you know, when they're fighting aliens, then they do the whole, you know, blink thing that makes you forget everything. But when they fight Deados in this, there's literally Deados just all over, and it's on the news and everything. And no one's like, I mean, like, it should be common knowledge to everyone that there's dead people walking the planet with as much as they fight dead people and it's on the news and they're all over the place in this movie. Like I said, it makes no sense pretty much from beginning to end. And the ending wasn't horrible. It's about as bad as the rest of them. It wasn't particularly worse than the rest of the movie, and it wasn't good. So it didn't do it any favors either. You know how I put so much stock in the ending. But this movie, I'm going to give it a generous 4. I mean, it's so bad.
Well, I guess I passed for a reason then.
Yeah.
Maybe I heard some bad reviews.
I bet you this was number 1 and now it's number 2 on Netflix just from the star power itself, you know. But so then I got RIPD watched. So then I'm like, okay, well, I invested my time in RIPD. I'm not going to not watch RIPD 2 now because RIPD sucked, right?
Right.
So then I boot up RIPD 2 as the Damned. Everything I just said is extremely similar in this. This definitely isn't a mainline kind of mainstream movie. I don't think this is in the theater. Kurt Coiner's commenting about the Asian guy. How is he still around? He was in big trouble with Little China, and he looks similar still. You're right, Coiner. He hasn't aged a bit since Big Trouble in Little China. Anyway, so RIPD 2. This is kind of a straight to video kind of budget, it seems. RIPD definitely seemed big budget. It's like they tried, and they probably, again, with the star power, they probably spent a lot of money on that movie and lost out big. But RIPD 2 is like a straight to video one. You can definitely tell it right away, which I actually don't have a problem with it, because it's definitely nowhere near as over the top. I think maybe doing too much special effects and trying to be too scary with the monsters and the Deados in the first one may have hurt it some. But anyway, everything's very similar in this one. My favorite thing about this was, like I said, in the first one, we're modern day cop with Ryan Reynolds with old time Jeff Bridges from the Wild Wild West. Well, this movie takes place in the Wild Wild West. So the sheriff guy is the modern day cop, i.e. Ryan Reynolds. And then the lady that's in here is the old timer partner that has to partner up with him. And she's like a medieval knight.
Did they have female medieval knights?
I don't know. I don't know. And I don't think this
She's
movie
cosplaying. That's what she's doing. I don't think they had Kirk's playing some video games.
Okay, gotcha. Thanks for keeping us on though, Kurt. Destiny 2 is a great game, by the way. Anyway, obviously you know. But so in RIPD2, that kind of sets up the partnership, first of all. Second of all, and this is the only thing that I thought didn't really fit with this movie. Although, well, yeah, Joan of Arc, Mike. There you go. Right? What do you have to say to that, Mike? Karen's calling you out.
I was just asking.
I think it came across as questioning. Like
I was
doubtful asking. But anyway. Thank you. I feel like Karen forgets like she has special effects for a while, and then all of a sudden they come back to her and stuff. It's so funny. But anyway. So I like that matchup. That was very entertaining to start for me. But the part that didn't make any sense to me, so I didn't like it, is the people they become. Again, Jeff Bridges was a gorgeous model. Ryan Reynolds is a small Asian guy. These two are both black women to the real world. Okay. Now I feel like RIPD, this is obviously heavenly powers that's making all this happen, right? Why would they make it the most difficult people to be in the 1920s? It's like, wow, 1900 or what's that? The 19th, yeah, 1800s, right? Why would they make it the most difficult people to be in society if they're trying to save the world against deados, right?
Right.
Why would they make them visually be the most, oppressed,
people at that time?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
here's a real challenge.
Yeah. Why not make them be, kind of like how Jeff Bridges was? He could kind of woo with his beauty, but
just kind of blend in.
Yeah. So they didn't really address that a whole lot in this, actually. They just kind of went along with it as if it wasn't. They talked about it, how, their life very oppressed and having a hard time and stuff, but you didn't really actually see that come into play a whole lot. And the plot of this is that demons are able to possess people. So the whole premise of fighting deados is kind of still exists, but there's kind of this new premise that comes up to where the dead are actually able to possess humans. So now they're fighting actual humans that are actually possessed by the dead as well. And, they can still make them pop. And basically when they make them pop, the demons come out of them and then they just become a full-fledged demon in the real world. Now they have to fight the demon. So anyway, and anyone who's possessed by these demons has a big crescent in the middle, like a brand in the middle of their chest too. So you know who they are. It's kind of a little bit hokey there. Not a big complaint about that. It's not a big deal, but I just thought that was kind of funny. I was like, that's convenient. But anyway, this is a much better movie, in my opinion, than the first Rest in Peace department. And I don't know if I know any actors and actresses in this one. Maybe a few identifiable visually, but I don't know their names. But I'd give this a solid, 6. This isn't horrible. And you know how it goes. If something's a major motion picture and it turns out to be a 6, you're gonna be like, oh, I give that a 4. Right. But if it's like a straight to digital or straight to video, whatever they call it nowadays with these movies, if it's a 5, you're like, oh, I'll give that a 6. You know what I mean? You kind of bumps it up.
Yes. It's your
Not so
expectations,
Yeah, exactly. We talk about that a lot, but yeah, this wasn't horrible. Like I said, if you're gonna want some RIPD content, I feel like you need the first RIPD, just the first 15-20 minutes of it to kind of explain what the heck is going on. But then just skip the rest of it and just switch right over to RIPD 2. because and the ending was much better in this one, in my opinion, as well. So,
Yeah, I'll probably pass on both of those.
okay, I think I've given better reviews. So yeah, I agree with that. Just go to the other ones.
Just a lot out there to watch.
All right, now here's the first thing that I do need that I'm hoping that you can help me out with, Mike. And you're probably going to be a little bit shocked when I put this poster up. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you sitting down?
Hold on. Yeah.
Here we go. I watched
The Walking Dead.
the final episode of The Walking Dead.
All right, I'm going to have to check out because we're still the whole season behind.
Oh, man. I was hoping you.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm not going to spoil anything, so you don't have to check out. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Yeah, I think this is what, season 10?
11.
Yeah, okay. 11. Jeez, why was I thinking?
I thought it was over in 10 as well. I was shocked that it was season 11 as well. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I think we finished 10 then. And, yeah, we didn't watch any of 11.
Well, me and Jesse were actually surprised too when we kind of were trying to recall back when we stopped.
Yeah.
We actually made it to season 8. I was thinking it was like 5 we checked out, and Jesse was thinking it wouldn't have been further than 6. But yeah, we actually we made it to season 8 when we were recalling the events we knew, you know.
Yeah. And it actually, I think I may have mentioned to you that it hit that real bad lull, and then those later like 9 and 10, I thought got better again. I thought they were really good. So we were back to enjoying it.
Yeah. So I'm not going to give any spoilers, Mike, but I do want to give my opinion. Do you care about hearing my opinion?
No, your opinion's fine. I mean, I read the book, so I know the general idea what's supposed to happen. Now,
really?
If they kind of went the same route, there are things that they can't do that happened in the books, but yeah, I just don't know which things they changed.
Well, do you mind telling me how they concluded the book? Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't read the final issues.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Well, Rick was still alive,
and
so was Carl.
Okay.
So I can't remember. What's the name of the guy on the right there? I can't remember what his area was. That was it the
stormtrooper guy.
Yeah, it was the I can't remember what his area was. It wasn't Alexandria and stuff like that. The Commonwealth.
Oh yeah, the Commonwealth. Yeah.
So basically, Michonne and Rick and Carl, they were living in the Commonwealth. Rick ended up getting killed, and then it jumped. The last issue jumped like 20 years. I think it was 20 years in the future, and there was like a statue of Rick, and then you see Carl. Now I can't even remember. I think Carl was telling the story of Rick. I think
the zombies still exist.
Yeah, they were still around because people were using them as like sideshow attractions. Stuff like that.
So basically, they kind of set it up like they had control of it at that point, though.
Yeah, it's been so long since I read that last issue. So anyway, I liked it. I was looking forward to the Commonwealth.
Okay. All right. So here's my spoiler-free review. We thought this was a really good episode. So
episode or season? Oh wait, you watched the very last episode.
We literally just skipped everything to the very final episode.
Oh,
which was like which was like an hour and a half episode. As you can imagine. But we actually liked this episode. Obviously there was, and we were really surprised as to how much we were aware of that was going on. Like there was some things, again, I won't give a spoiler, but there were some things happening that referenced things that we were aware of that we did know. Now there were other things that we were completely oblivious of that we didn't know, but we could still appreciate if we did know that this was good, kind of thing, So we thought this was a really good episode. But the big thing, the big takeaway with this is although a very good episode to us, it didn't seem like a season or a series finale by any stretch. Like,
I
it,
wonder, because I think they're doing some movies. So I'm
okay.
wondering if they're gonna try to tie it up in one of the movies or something like that.
Maybe, yeah, that would make sense to me if that's the case. Because this basically what we compared it to was a finale from any other season. Like it was that kind of thing to where it was even cliffhangery, you know. And but we enjoyed it as a whole, that's for sure. And there was a lot of factors that I would like to talk about if you'd already seen it. So definitely catch up. I want to talk to you about this someday. You know what I should do? I should start trying to catch up now too.
Yeah.
Just let me know when you're going to watch an episode and I'll watch it too. And then we'll get there at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me talk to Emily because we finished Avenue 5. And I have to say real quickly, that last episode was so anticlimactic and boring. I was disappointed in the last episode of season 2, which is the last episode of everything. There was no season 3.
So what? Season 2?
Yeah, of Avenue 5.
Oh, Avenue 5. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
We switched gears. I totally missed
Well,
you.
I switched to that gear saying we're done with that. So we may have some room to squeeze this in now.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. So you were underwhelmed with the ending of Avenue 5. Got it. Yeah.
But the rest is worth watching.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was going to continue, so that's why I really didn't judge. Maybe are you judging it more harshly because now that you know that it's over, or at the time did you judge it harshly as well?
Well, I knew both. I knew it was over before we got to it, but also, it was just boring to me. It wasn't as funny as the other ones, and so either way,
I'm thinking Pat got you a little bit too. I'm thinking Pat's opinion kind of.
No, because the episode right before it, I was still laughing hard.
Okay.
I'm disappointed in seeing Carol still there because her character I was just so done with it. I wanted her to get bit so badly. It's like, I'm done with Carol. I'm done with Daryl and Carol. I still like Daryl on his own, but the whole Daryl and Carol thing, hopefully they fixed that.
Well, all I have to say about that, again, not knowing anything aside from the final episode, is we had the opposite opinion, obviously, because we hadn't had any Carol in about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
We were like, well, because we were the same. I think when we quit watching it, we were on the same page you just described. You're like, man, we're over Carol, man. I'm done with this chick, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we both, at the end of this episode, we're both like, man, Carol was I really like Carol there.
We're good.
Yeah, so I can't answer your question directly. Just personally, with that final episode, we were enjoying her. So anyway,
all right.
So definitely recommend checking out The Walking Dead. And the biggest thing that sucked us into watching The Walking Dead was as much as we've been talking about The Last of Us and The Walking Dead comparisons, right? So
I wish Patrick was here to talk about this one.
That's what I was gonna say. Dadgummit.
Yeah.
You didn't catch up on this one, huh?
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're on The Last of Us.
Yeah, we're caught up.
Oh, when you made that comment just now, you were talking about The Walking Dead.
No, because it's fine. Because I'm really interested to hear what he would say. Because him and I are usually
on the same page
page with this show, and you're on you're like a different book.
Yeah, right.
So
well, he did comment before he checked out there that he was underwhelmed.
Yeah. Right, it's true.
With this and Mandalorian, and I said I half agree, and of course the half I agree with is The Last of Us.
Yeah, this episode, when I was done with it, I was like, I 100% agree with Kevin on this one. This one,
thank God,
I was bored the whole way through.
Thank God, man. I'm glad that we got a little tidbit of what Patrick thinks. Who knows if it's as extreme as you just said you were, and I agree with you. And I'm going to finish watching this series just because, once you're this deep in, and especially since I'm a professional reviewer with millions of listeners, I have to finish. But man, I would definitely check out of this show at this point. I probably would have done a last episode, but 100% sure if I wasn't doing this, I would have checked out after this episode, man. Oh, this is, yeah, it was boring. But apparently it's even more boring than the other boring episodes because of what you're saying. The only positive I have to say of this one is that we could have gotten this in 5 minutes, is just experience how she actually got bit.
Right.
That was good information. But the rest of it, man, let's see a couple teenage girls hang out all day and getting bickery fights about the past and play video games together. I mean, God.
This was a filler episode. Like you said, the whole that could have been told in 15 minutes. And then it's kind of like in the comic book world, it seems like a lot of books now are written to the trades. So trade paperbacks are 6 issues. So they drag this story out to fill it 6 issues so they can sell it as a collection. That's what this episode felt like. It's like, I don't even know how many episodes this is supposed to be. Maybe
I don't either.
9 or 10 or something like that, or 12. And let's just we've got this much story. Let's try to stretch it out. And that's what it felt like.
Yeah, if anybody wants to comment, if they know how many episodes are supposed to be in this season of The Last of Us, I'd like to know that as well, because I want to know when this agony is going to end for me. Jeez.
Yeah. So now I have high hopes for tonight's episode because I was so let down on this one. It's like, okay, let's get back to the action. Let's move the story.
Well, that was the other part that I thought, aside from this one slow, the other complaint I have is, and this is a spoiler, anybody who wants to, check out, this is definitely a spoiler. Kirk, I have to truly miss talking. Oh,
yeah.
Awesome, Kirk. Kirk being an old friend of Mike's, miss talking about this stuff with him. So I appreciate you listening. Oh yeah, definitely check us out every week, man. I constantly say that if I wasn't on the show, I'd definitely be watching this every week. It's awesome. And Mike is a big part, one of the bigger parts, that's for sure.
Yeah. Thanks, Kirk. I agree. We spent a lot of time in that comic book store, man.
Yeah. Karen's telling us there's 9 episodes.
So what, we got 2 left or something?
So we got 2 left. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so at the end, all of a sudden she can just find a sewing kit and sew him up.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't matter how much blood he lost or that he still maybe has a bullet in him. She can stitch up his outer skin and that's going to save him. Is that kind of,
well, I think he was stabbed, but you're right. I mean, yeah, he was stabbed. Remember he turned, they were by the horse and I can't remember. I think that guy ran into him or whatever. And then I think she shot the guy, but there was a knife stuck in him.
Oh, okay. I remembered that wrong. Sorry. But that even makes it even worse. You know what a knife does? She's just going to sew up the skin on top.
Yeah.
She's going to be fine,
Yeah. She sewed up the skin, but all the stuff internally that needs sewed up.
And he's obviously lost a lot of blood, So anyway, that seemed kind of far-fetched to me too, but I will fully admit that I'm disliking so much of the other episode. I might just be looking for another reason not to like it at this point. I don't know. Maybe I would forgive that if I liked everything else, but anyway. All right, so big not recommend from either me or Mike. And Patrick said he was underwhelmed. I don't know whether that would make him recommend it or not with The Last of Us, but he definitely didn't care for it much. Which brings us to the finale of what Kevin watched and to my favorite thing. The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1, which...
Son of a gun.
What?
That's now?
Yeah.
That happened? Missed it.
So you didn't even know?
No.
I talked about it for multiple weeks prior that it was coming out on March 1st.
Right. Dude, when I looked at the schedule at work and it was March 2nd, I was like, really? Yeah.
Anyway. So what do you how do you mean to deal with this? You
can just either way. I loved the first 2 seasons. There were 2 seasons, right? It's been so long. I love the Mandalorian. Yeah,
they're 2.5 seasons because of the half a season they put in the middle of Book of Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, right? Yeah, I love the Mandalorian. So listening to you talk about it isn't going to ruin it for me. I'm going to go into it loving it, and I really have a feeling that when this episode's over, I'm still going to love it. So.
Okay, good.
Unless it's terrible, then don't ruin my day.
Okay. So I'm going to put a spoiler alert up again, so I can just freely talk about everything since Mike doesn't mind. If you want to check out,
it shows how important Patrick is to the show. Because normally I would allow Patrick to sit in. I'd go make a sandwich and come back when you're done.
So here we go with the spoiler. If you're on the podcast listening, give me 5 minutes, and if you're viewing and you don't want to hear, just mute us until the spoiler alert logo that's in the top right hand corner of the screen is gone. So anyway, I can't wait to hear. Kirk Coiner says it's very anticlimactic. Could have been better. Waited for so long for what could have been better. It was good, just not great. I don't actually mind that opinion, and maybe that's what I was just getting ready to say. If that is where Pat is at with this as well, like, did he like it, but he was just underwhelmed? Like he was like Kirk just described, where he was expecting more. So since he waited so long for it, he wanted a lot more. I can see that opinion without being, disagreeing with that in any way. I mean, people have obviously different expectations, but I do have some problems with this episode, but overall I loved it. Obviously, Mandalorian is a Mandalorian. The Mandalorians have been a big, important part of my life forever. Not just because the Mandalorian is out now and basically giving me Mandalorian content is all I need to say I love it. So even if I have complaints, I guess they could wreck it. I should backpedal on that a little bit. They could wreck it. Hopefully they never will. But as long as it's decent and it's got Mandalorian stuff, I'm going to say I love it. But I do have a couple complaints about this. They're not very big. Do you want to hear the complaints or the things that made me happy, Mike, first?
Well, go with the complaints so you end on a positive note.
Okay, good. I like that. Oh, my first complaint was at the beginning of this episode. It's pretty cool. We're actually seeing a youngling, a foundling, becoming a Mandalorian, and they're showing the ceremony that takes place for a foundling to become a Mandalorian, and they're making them do the whole oath to not remove your helmet ever and stuff like that. And it takes place in kind of a riverbed, like on the edge of a river, and everything seems to be going fine. But then all of a sudden, this big kind of prehistoric half turtle, half alligator that's the size of 3 elephants comes swashing out of the water and starts attacking every Mandalorian in sight, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it does sound cool, right? Don't get to the good part yet. But anyway, my complaint with that is one, if you have 50 Mandalorian, I feel like there's nothing they should have a hard time taking down, right? And secondly, the way that they showed this alligator turtle thing owning them didn't really resonate with kind of making sense to me. Like, like they're just constantly. One thing that I hate is when, and I think we dealt with this at the end of Book of Boba Fett. Whenever your shooting is obviously not having an effect, why are you continuing to just use that as a strategy, right?
Right.
So, which a couple of them did change it up. They started shooting cables at it, which also didn't make sense. This thing is as big as, like I said, a couple houses, and they're shooting a small cable to hook at it. What's going to happen? This thing's going to pull you around like a rag doll, which also happened. And then they also, jetpacked up to it, which, first of all, that was the first thing I would, if I were a Mandalorian with a jetpack, the first thing I would have done was taken to the sky. I would not have tried to fight this thing on the ground for 10 minutes before I'm like, oh, I'm on a jetpack, So then they jetpack and they put bombs on its back.
Mhm.
But Mike, what is on the back of a turtle?
A shell.
Yeah, exactly. How are you going to think an explosion on probably what would be the most armored part of this thing's, so anyway, there was just a bunch of things like that happened. I enjoyed the scene in general, because like you said, Mike, as soon as I saw this thing come out of the water and all the Mandos are fighting it, I'm like, awesome, just like you described, right? But then as these hokey things were happening, I was like, nah, that bothered me a little bit. It didn't last too long. It wasn't like I said, maybe 5-10 minutes. Maybe 5. It's probably 5. But anyway, but the biggest thing I was thinking is they obviously had these bombs, and the whole time the alligator's mouth's like, he's like fighting, right? Just pitch one of those down its gullet.
Right.
Imagine exploding this thing on the inside instead of trying to put a bomb on the outer shell of the what's the most armored part of its body. I thought that was kind of a fail. It was a cool / fail scene at the same time, So
I would have shot a cable into its mouth, into its tongue, and then pulled it so it would bite its own tongue.
That would have been awesome. I'd love to see that. So anyway, and I did think what was cool and dumb at the same time was, like I told you, how they put they shot their cables, and they're like a dozen of them shot their cables at, and they're trying to hold this thing down, which is ridiculous on the face of it. But then what does an alligator do as a defense mechanism?
Alligators roll.
Exactly.
Death roll. Yeah.
Exactly. So they cable this alligator, and then it starts rolling, so it's pulling the Mandos like this. So again, it was a cool fail at the same time. But anyway, man, you're spot on answers today. But anyway, then we move on. And do you know what the premise of season 3 is, Mike?
No, I purposely don't pay attention to stuff, so it's not spoiled for me. But continue.
Well, it's what they told us season 3 was going to be about at the end of season 2.
Yeah, I don't remember that far back.
Okay. Well, anyway, he's lost his. He's no longer actually a Mando anymore because it was in Boba Fett, actually, where, remember, she took away his honor or whatever because he took his helmet off, so he's no longer a Mando anymore. So she told him he had to go to the mines of Mandalore to get his honor back.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay. So that's basically what happens here. So then we see Mando taken off to Mandalore to regain his honor. And I thought another thing was ironic here too. And this is another reason I wish Pat was here, because he disagreed with me on this too, I think. So part of the Boba Fett interruption with Mandalorian was, they got to explain this stuff for us to be ready for season 3, right? They kind of they did a whole scene where they kind of re-explained it all at the beginning of this episode anyway. Like, if you hadn't seen Boba Fett at all, you'd know what was going on completely.
Right.
So I was like, why did we need the Boba Fett? You know what I mean? Yeah. I got mad again retroactively at Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Yeah. So anyway, so another cool part is everybody's wondering how Bo-Katan is functioning without the Darksaber trying to rule Mandalore. You know that whole story?
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. So we meet up with Bo-Katan, and they kind of explain through that a little bit, which that's another little complaint I have, simply because the way she explains it, if that was totally the case, the way she describes it, I feel like she'd have been up in arms more than she was in this episode. That was another, and again, slight complaint, no real big deal. I really enjoyed seeing Bo-Katan. I like her a lot. I've liked that character since the Clone Wars a lot as well. And they reference Clone Wars events in this episode too, which was really cool. But anyway, so those are my complaints. So the cool but a fail scene at the beginning, and then kind of how they dealt with Bo-Katan, and that we really didn't need the episodes that were in Boba Fett, apparently. So now to the good stuff. And I'll start at the beginning again then. Man, the alligator battle with that was really cool. I think I enjoyed it more than I didn't, because I'm obviously mentioning it again as a positive. It was cool to see the ceremony of a foundling becoming a Mandalore.
Right.
And I'm a big lore guy like that in general, where I like to get that backstory kind of stuff. So I enjoyed seeing that. I also enjoyed the fact that we got to see what Bo-Katan's status was, that they didn't just kind of wash over that. We're getting a little bit of feedback. Is that me?
I don't know.
Okay.
I hit mute on mine a minute ago.
Okay. Anyway, but I liked a couple things. Actually, three major things. One, we got a new planet. Loved it. We got a new droid, and we got to see, and they also explained what happened to Cara Dune. I like that they didn't wash over that. And then we also got to see a great space battle and a gunfight. So, this is what I was going to say in closing with all this is, and again, there's not too many spoilers and everything I just said anyway. I just wanted to be able to talk freely. Then the episode ends with he's heading to the mines because he just finds out where they are, but we got getting a new planet, getting new characters, seeing new creatures, seeing some new lore on ceremonies and stuff. Man, that's what makes Star Wars to me.
And these are hour long, right? Or were they half hour? I can't remember now.
I don't think it was quite an hour. I think it was longer than a half an hour though.
Right. Like probably 40 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. A new new droid. That's awesome.
Yeah.
New droids.
Oh, and Andy also got to see one of probably my only one of my very few likable parts from Rise of Skywalker. That droid, or not droid, but that little alien creature guy that had to bring back C-3PO's memory from Rise of Skywalker. He's like this tall.
If I saw him, I'd definitely remember, obviously. But
he looks like a mechanic. He looks like he's wearing like mechanic gear. He's in his race is in this. There's actually three. Okay. It's not literally the same character, but his race is in this, and I enjoyed that race a lot. So,
okay.
Kurt Coiner is saying it was good. I usually have to watch them more than once to fully appreciate it. I agree with that 100%, Kurt. The more you watch it, the better it is, in my opinion. So I'm going to take the spoiler off to give my final review of this episode. My final review of this episode. This is everything I want the shows like The Last of Us to be. Okay. This had, story growth. This had relationship attachments, growth, whatever you want to call it, and great action. And I shouldn't have said story growth. So it had the story moved along, had great action, got some new stuff, and you got some relationship building, So I think this was strong out the gate.
That's good to hear.
I'm hoping whenever Patrick talks about it, he just feels like it wasn't that strong, but he still liked it. Yeah. If he says he didn't like this at all, I'm going to be shocked.
Well, I'm going to try to watch this tonight. We'll see if I can.
I definitely recommend that you should.
Yeah, because Emily probably forgot that it was coming out as well, because she's a fan of it too.
And don't let this poster fool you, though. There's no Mando jetpacking, fighting his pistol, carrying Grogu.
I love that poster.
That is a great poster, I know, but literally nothing in that poster happens. So anyway, I don't think Mando's ever jetpack with holding Grogu, so I don't know why this is a poster. So that'll do it for me.
Yeah. Well, this kind of piggybacks on to one of your reviews from Karen told us the date, but when you reviewed Pale Blue Eye with Christian Bale in it,
right?
We watched that last night, and I think Patrick mentioned that he had watched it a couple of days ago, him and his wife, and we loved it. So if anybody's still on the fence or had forgotten about it, it was awesome. It was a good movie. It's 2 hours. I think it's 2 hours long. It was a good movie to a point, and then it became a great movie. And Emily's usually really good at midway through, she threw out her idea. She's like, this, and she was partially right, but this one really caught her by surprise. So that's January 15th. Thank you, Karen. Go back to that episode if you want Kevin's review.
Yeah.
Review probably echoes that because I think you liked it. And
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, don't waste your time with my review because it pretty much echoes like what Mike just said. Yeah. But I will remind everybody of this, and you can go back to this episode to verify this if you like. But one of the things I think it's so funny that I'm an influencer. I told you I'm influencing you because I told you one thing that I wanted to know when you watched that, and you answered me just now, was if Emily guessed the end. Because I think I'm vividly remembering I said, I'll bet you, because you mentioned that before, that she's a good end guesser, I'll bet you. Thanks, Karen. Karen says influencer. I hope that's a good thing. But anyway, I had mentioned when I reviewed that movie that I would love to know what Emily's guess would be, and I'll bet you she'd be wrong. So if you're saying she's half wrong, I don't know exactly, obviously, the specifics there.
She was right about the good part of the movie, but what got her was the great part of the movie, and I think that's what makes it so great.
Yes. Okay. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. She got the basic part of the movie that you're kind of thinking is the main part of the movie the whole time.
Right.
And then you're like, no, check this out.
Yeah.
Right. And then it becomes great. Right.
Yep. Everybody watch it and then come back next week and in the comments below, tell us what you thought.
Yeah. I feel like every time I can't help but do something crazy like this is going to end up being a screenshot matching the comic book cover that Pat posts. I can't.
Right.
All right. Anyway, that was a good. Thanks, Karen. That was a good review. Did you watch anything else besides that one, Mike? And Last of Us, apparently.
Well, Last of Us we watched like Monday or something like that.
Well, that was actually a good week for you. You got Pale Blue Eye, Last of Us, and Avenue 5 all watched. That's
and to throw that in with, I think most of the country is watching the Murdoch trial from down in South Carolina. I don't know if you guys, if your household was caught up in that, but we watched a bunch of that too.
Yeah, we did. We watched that too. Yep.
So I don't think there's been a case that big since OJ.
It seems crazy. I agree with that statement. I'm kind of clueless as to why. I don't know why people care so much. Do you, in general?
Because it was just so bizarre, I would say.
Oh, okay.
It's like you can't write something like that.
Yeah, I guess.
So.
Well, anyway, then the other thing we watched too, and this is just on that same line, is the Boeing documentary. Have you ever seen that?
No.
You should check that out.
Put that on the documentary.
The Fall of Boeing or something like that.
Oh, okay. Put that on the documentary channel so I don't forget.
Yeah, I'll try to remember that as soon as we're done today.
All right.
All right, but back to the comics part.
Yeah, back to comics. For everybody, Cover Combat 3 Round 4 is up on the Facebook page. Go vote.
Oh, nice.
I put it up while Patrick started his thing. Yeah, let's get back to comics. That's what the show's about, right?
Yeah. Yes. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna do the right one. See, my placement has changed. Now here you go.
Interesting.
All right, so it looks like I'm first.
Yep.
Oh man, I needed to take a drink there.
I can go first since you just talked for an hour.
Okay, why don't you do that for me? Thanks.
All right. It seems like whenever I left the show with my internet problems, came back, I lost some pictures.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So I read Junkyard Joe 3 and 4. Admittedly, I'm way behind. Number 3 came out December 21st. Number 4 came out January 25th. Number 5 came out February 5th, and the 6th and final issue comes out March 29th. So this is a little bit behind. Once again, we've got Jeff Johns as the writer, Gary Frank is the artist, and I also wanted to point out Brad Anderson's colors. I think he's doing a fantastic job on colors. Here's an example. I mean, just I was going to talk a little bit about this part of the book, but the colors are fantastic. It's just even throughout. Fits,
yeah, it looks good
and everything. So, basically, what we've got in these two issues, Muddy Davis is, I think around issue 2, Junkyard Joe showed up at Muddy's house, and he's trying to find out where Joe is actually from. And we see here he checks his dog tags, and those aren't Army dog tags. And that's where he remembers Joe from the Army when he's in Vietnam. And when he got back from Vietnam, he kind of thought that maybe Joe was part of his imagination, and he imagined him. So he created the comic strip. But Joe ends up showing up at his house, and so now he's kind of confused as to where he came from.
Yeah. Okay.
And then his new neighbors are these are all out of order. And I'm missing pictures. So basically, his new neighbors are all on their first day of school, first day back to work, and it's just chaos. They're all having bad times, having bad days. And you'll see here, this seems like Joe actually suffers from PTSD. Muddy's wife, who had passed away, her coffee cup falls on the floor, and Joe kind of freaks out, starts smashing the wall and all that stuff. So
yeah, nice. Okay.
So we're trying to find out where he's from, what he's even there for. And all the while we've got, let me try to find my thing. There's a group of people that are, mysterious men that are searching for Joe. They get even closer, and here they are confronted by local law enforcement, and they're, it seems like they're a group that is above the law. I wish I had one page, but I lost a few pages. So that kind of messed up my review. So not 2 issues, not a lot happened. Gary's Jeff Johns is really taking his time telling his story. It's only 6 issues, and I think it's going to be better read as a trade paperback. So at this point, if you haven't picked anything up, I would wait for the trade. But it's definitely worth getting to read. And but if you don't have the single issues, I would definitely wait for the trade. So that's what I got on that one. It's just you have to buy a lot to get a little.
So it's a get it essentially, but you're just recommending you wait until you get the trade.
Yeah.
At this point, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, and it's probably better read all at one time. Read all 6 issues at once than it is reading it month by month.
I think that kind of goes without saying for probably 9 out of 10 good stories out there anyway, right? I mean,
yeah,
it definitely seems like maybe, and that's maybe more of a modern thing. I don't know that, it's not like you really have a cliffhanger or like right at the end all the time where you're pining for the next issue, so yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, I think everybody's writing to the trades now because, trade paperbacks are, when we started, that was, they didn't exist very much.
Yeah, few and far between. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's what everybody's writing for because then they sell more of those. This is definitely one. I'll probably just wait for the trade on it.
I'm still in the old school camp though. I want those single issues for multiple reasons. I guess, we talk about how sometimes in the trades they have all the covers. When they do that, I kind of like that more too. But if they're missing, I want all the covers too. I want, that's part of the reason probably the biggest reason I want the single issues too. So,
yep.
All right. As previewed on Instagram, again, if you are following us on Instagram, I'm taking a lot of pride in trying to put up some videos, some reels. What do they call it? Sam reels, Instagram reels, right? Yeah.
I think that's what they're called.
Did you see my reel this week, Mike?
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Saw it.
They look pretty good. I mean, are they okay? I mean, I'm trying
Yeah.
to change them and make them better. And
Yeah, I like them.
okay, good. So I read Scorched number 13 and Scorched number 14, and I'm not as up on my game as my friend Mike here. I can't tell you exactly when these came out. I wish I could, but I'm not that good. I'll try to be better and do that in the future, though. If you're not familiar with Scorched, review a couple issues a while back at the beginning with this, but basically this is kind of all the what do you call them, like secondary spawns? I don't know, kind of team up for this Scorched team. As on the cover here of 13, you can see the Redeemer and Gunslinger spawn. And actually, I noted in the Instagram reel that Gunslinger spawn is not actually in this issue, though, which is a little bit of a pet peeve of mine. I mean, don't highlight a character on the cover that isn't even in the issue. Even when they're those themed ones, I don't like those either. But anyway, then on issue 14 is the Redeemer fighting demons as well. And basically what's happening in Scorched right now is she spawn, Redeemer, and they actually got the Freak involved. Are you familiar with the Freak, Mike?
No, I haven't read Spawn in forever.
Okay, so the Freak really reminds you of kind of Eddie from the cover of Iron Maiden albums,
Okay. Yeah.
He kind of looks like that. And he's not a good guy, but basically Spawn's kind of in the main Spawn title, he's kind of all over the place trying to open portals to try to find a way to get back to his wife or get his wife back, a combination of that. But as he's doing that, that's kind of his focus. There's also demons trying to keep these portals open, which I think we had Sin in the collectibles on the horizon. I think Sin's playing a part in the in the main Spawn title, messing with these portals as well too. And all these demons are coming through the portals, including this is kind of the old story, when the cops put the prisoners away and then they open up the prison, the first thing that happens, the prisoners want to come out and get revenge on people that put them there, so that's kind of happening. Has a couple of, if you're familiar with the Spawn story, character, main character type demons that are coming out and trying to kind of just get revenge. So Redeemer and she Spawn and what's his name? Oh man, I'm forgetting his name. So there's one other guy. It's the toxic guy that wears a gas mask. But anyway, I'm failing on his character's names right now. But it's the three of them together, and they actually recruit the Freak to help them because he is crazy powerful, I guess. And he's not exactly a bad guy. He's just not a good guy. He does bad things too, but he's not really for horrible ends, just because he just doesn't care kind of character. But they need his help to fight these demons. So that's kind of what happens. A couple main character demons come through. They actually beat them. And then lastly, this kind of huge kind of gatekeeping demon that if he can beat them, then everybody can come out. Battle happens in issue 14. And then Medieval Spawn actually gets involved. We had him highlighted in the collectibles as well. Medieval Spawn gets involved with this. And and then Gunslinger does actually show up in 14 as well. And the only thing that could be kind of called a cliffhanger here in this is Gunslinger actually says he's quitting the team in this because he's frustrated for something that they didn't exactly spell out for us as of now. But this is lots of great classic Spawn for me, in my opinion. Lots of hack and slash violence in this, and and especially specific kind of Spawn type powers. I like the Redeemer a lot. You know, Redeemer's kind of on the same mindset of Spawn, but he's the total polar opposite. He's using the powers that he's given from above to fight all this evil, you know, and obviously Spawn's gotten all his powers from below, you know, so.
Yeah. I like the character design on Redeemer. I mean, like, anything with awesome angel type wings are pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. He's very cool. Yeah. So, I mean, there's, you know, that's the thing with what I like about Spawn that I don't know if it's exactly everybody's cup of tea is it's a lot of action with very little story moving forward in each issue. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Kirk Coiner. I can't answer that. Kirk is asking who the main artist is on Scorched. I'm going to answer it right now for you, though, because I got this exact comic right here beside me.
Yeah, that's the thing about all the Spawn stuff. I mean, Todd, I think he plots stuff. I don't even know if he's a full-on writer.
So Steven Segovia. And actually it says Steven Segovia did half of this book and Von Randall did the second half. Sean Lewis is the writer. So anyway, it all looks good to me. It all looks cool, man.
Yeah, Todd finds these guys that you just never heard of. And
they're awesome. Yeah. But yeah, this is, like I said, these two issues, I just kind of laid out real simply what happens. And, you know, that's kind of how Spawn is. It's a lot of action, a lot of cool visuals, a lot of great art, in my opinion. And, but not a lot of story movement from issue to issue. But, you know, once you get through 10 issues, though, there's been a good story arc throughout there. It's just kind of a slow burn like there. Yeah, Kirk's saying Todd finds his clones. They all do really look similar. Yeah. So, anyway, definitely a must-have for Spawn fans, especially with Scorched. You know, I know people that are getting the main Spawn title but not getting Scorched. I'm like, what are you doing? You know, especially with Scorched. If you're a Spawn fan, Scorched is a must-have in my opinion. But if you aren't a Spawn fan, you'd probably feel indifferent about checking out these episodes. I wouldn't even really so much as give a definite get it if you're not a Spawn fan. So that's kind of where I am, you know, kind of not really giving it a get it. I'm giving it either a you know, it's kind of one way or the other, or a must have depending if you're a Spawn fan. So
yeah,
that's where I am on Scorched. I'm enjoying it a lot, that's for sure.
Well, Todd keeping them at $2.99 makes it pretty easy to try out, though.
I love that so much.
Yeah. Every time, you know, I was getting it for a bit and then I dropped it again. And I always think, it's like, man, why am I dropping this book? It's the cheapest one out there with high quality art. The feel of the book is quality. I'm an idiot sometimes.
And don't be so hard on yourself. And doesn't it make you wonder that, you know, Todd can do this? Why can't DC and Marvel, right? I mean, charging $3 for a high quality book, you know?
With DC and Marvel, they have to pay for all the books that they print that people aren't buying.
Maybe that might be it. That's true.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy.
So anyway, man,
they're Marvel and DC's trying to hit that $4.99 price point across the board, and DC's hitting it with their Batman and Detective. You know, those are $4.99, like them or not. So,
and then if you want the B cover, the high quality B cover, it's $5.99, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, go figure. Yeah, and arguably the quality of the B cover that they're charging $5.99 is the same as Todd's $2.99 quality.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what he's doing. Hopefully he's not losing money. Maybe he's making enough of the action figures. He's not. He can subsidize.
Yeah, even Kirkman kept The Walking Dead at $2.99 for the longest time. I can't remember if he went to $3.99 or not at the end. But his Walking Dead Deluxe is $3.99, and that's
Deluxe.
Quality. A covers, B covers, everything. Nice, heavy cardstock almost. I mean,
Yeah.
just wonderful.
Yeah. So
Maybe Marvel and DC, they own stock in like Charmin toilet paper, and that's the cheap paper. That's a bad joke. Let's get out of here.
I didn't even hear it over the laughter. What'd you say again?
Oh. I said maybe Marvel and DC stock in Charmin toilet paper or something. It's a cheap paper.
I get it now. That was a quality reference, not a price reference. My brain was still in price.
Right.
Quality, got it. Yeah. All right. It feels so odd, man. We've done the show in such a specific format for so long. The fact that we're going to the comic book reviews into the recap feels strange to me, doesn't it?
Yep.
So Kirk says, so I'm still pretty new here. You guys ever do video game stuff? Yes, we have done video game stuff, Kirk. Not as a regular though. We used to do something. Kirk says he's a full geek nerd. Oh, full geek nerd circle. So listen, Kirk, you're gonna like this. So we have our regular segments, which don't include video games or like pops or trading card games or anything like that. But we do have special segments on occasion. Like we have a special guest host that comes around and reviews the latest things going on with Pokemon. And we have special guest hosts that come around and review what's happening with Pops. I'm kind of the video game guru here. That's what, Kirk, if you're talking about you, if I'm picking up what you're putting down, I think you might be referencing you. You are invited as of right now. If you are, and actually, if you're not trying to be referring to yourself, I would love if you've got someone that would like to do a segment occasionally on video games. Let us know. I would definitely welcome that. You too, Mike, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Great to have a video game set in.
Yep.
All right, awesome, Kirk. We'll definitely have to touch base. If you want to send us a private message through, or if you know Mike's text, I don't know, text Mike or send a private message through Facebook or something, and let us know your email, or if you're willing to give me your phone number, or Mike your phone number, and you can text and get your info. That would be awesome. I'd really appreciate it. You'd be doing as much of a favor for us as it sounds like you might enjoy doing it. So that would be awesome. So anyway, well, like I was saying, we've done it out of order today to where we're going straight from reviews to the recap. Seems odd, but are you ready, Mike?
I'm not. I'm so terrible. Today was, I don't have much of a recap.
All right, perfect. Here we go. All right, Mike, you're first.
I'm first. How do you?
Thanks, Kirk.
Hi, Kirk.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'll start off with who's Ted Lasso?
See, that was good.
Yeah. I wrote that down 2 hours ago.
I know who he is and don't know who he is at the same time, apparently.
Yeah. I see him everywhere. Everybody talks about him. I don't know.
R.I.P.D. is apparently one of those unicorns where the second one is better than the first one.
Yeah, there you go. When Johnny's on the show, he's kind of like the ghost in the machine. We have technical difficulties.
That's true. You might be right. That might be what's going on. The Last of Us should take notes on the Mandalorian. That's how you do it. But apparently Patrick thinks The Last of Us was taking notes from the Mandalorian, and they both were underwhelming.
Yeah. I'll say as much as The Last of Us, fans of The Last of Us don't like to be compared to The Walking Dead, they should look to The Walking Dead for a little bit of the blueprint.
Agreed. And I feel like we need to fill in for some kind of clever, especially collectibles comment on Pat's stuff. But apparently, the Build-A-Figures are not only bigger but better than the main line.
Yeah,
it seems. Every time I was noting we were talking about him being Build-A-Figure. That's kind of where my head was on that. Yeah.
I don't have anything else. I did finish my entire coffee though.
All right, then I'll just say
thank you. It was a difficult feat.
If you're looking for more Spawn material too, look no further than Scorched, because it's definitely there and it's good. And so that's a big fail on my recap as well. I definitely feel just more comfortable when there's two people to go around to come around for me to think of something else anyway. So sorry to fail on the recap. Here's part of the recap too. Vote on Cover Combat. You can vote here in the comments, or you can vote on our Facebook page. Mike already has that posted.
You can vote on the Facebook page. You claim here.
You vote here too.
No, it's hard. It's too difficult.
Well, up until just this very second, we've said they could do both.
No, I think a couple of weeks ago we said, Karen, help me out here.
Nope.
We said you claim here, vote over there.
No, we said you could claim or vote here, both. But you had to, you could only vote on Facebook.
I can see Karen checking her notes.
She is. I'm telling you. Don't make me isolate. So anyway, okay, again, let's start it from now. Are you saying from now on you don't like to be able to even vote here?
Right. I prefer claiming here, voting on the Facebook page.
Okay, but what happens if someone isn't on Facebook and they're watching this show? They can't participate. That's my point.
Everybody's on Facebook. That's a good point, though.
Yeah, not everybody's on Facebook. My kids are not. They don't even like to get on Facebook ever. Like literally, the only time they're on Facebook is when they're voting on Cover Combat.
Right.
Anyway, that's why I think they should be able to vote here, because this is where we're talking about it here. We're here now.
All right, you can vote in comments here, but I'm still curious to see what Karen comes up with.
Okay, I am too. Right. She's shaking her head no. Yeah. She has no evidence either way.
Yeah. We'll review the tape.
Well, we do know for a fact, if you want to claim what book you think is going to win, you have to do it here.
Yeah.
Right. You do get a sticker, Kirk. We'll bring it to you the next time we're up in Butler.
He's not in Butler.
Oh, yeah.
We'll bring it to Butler.
You're not in. That's right. You're not in Butler, Kirk. Where are you now? You know, Mike?
I don't know exactly. West Coast, maybe. I don't know.
West Coast, way out there.
He's in the United States.
Okay. All right, then let's go ahead and close this up. You can definitely tell when we're short-staffed. That's for sure. All right. Okay. So, what? Oh, he's in Nevada. I actually want to head out to Nevada. That's for sure. I've been trying to get to Las Vegas for most of my life.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go. Please like and comment on this video, as well as subscribe and hit that bell to get notifications. Obviously, we're talking about commenting on Cover Combat here, but comment, like Kirk has been doing the whole show, comment on everything we have. I'd love to hear everybody's input on everything we say the entire show. So, go to town on that. We love it. Then please subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Anchor by Spotify or many other providers. And please listen to the edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify that will be posted later today or tomorrow. I actually didn't get it posted until Tuesday last week. Sorry about that. But I shouldn't have any problems this week. And then also follow XcellarComics on Facebook, Instagram, and or Twitter. And follow Xcellar_comics on TikTok and whatnot. And that's actually, we talked about that at the beginning of the show, something I wanted to mention. I've got a Whatnot show scheduled right now for 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Oh yeah, Karen's already put the ticker on there for watching our show and Whatnot app on Fridays at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. That's still going to be a thing, okay? But the show you can bookmark now is at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Here's my commitment to Xcellar and to you, Mike. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I am doing a show every single evening this week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That show will at least be 1 hour. If it sucks, it will only be an hour. But if I catch some heat, I'll go at least 2 hours. But man, if it gets crazy, I'll probably call off the next day and stay up all night if I have to. Okay? Because we need to fund XcellarComics and all the things we do. As much fun as we have doing all this stuff, it does cost us some money. So we need to fund that. That's our biggest objective with selling books. We ain't trying to get rich. We got real jobs.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice. But we're not. That's not our number 1 intent. Our number 1 intent is to pay Xcellar's bills, and we're trying to do that by offering you some great books at good prices. And Whatnot's got the best prices. We do $1 books. I start 2 books at $2 for a majority of the show. I think I started 1, maybe 2 books last week at $2, but all of our auctions start at $2, and it'll be between 1 and 3 books. And I actually went as far as offering 4 books last Friday. No one bid on that either. So we're offering from $1 or at the most $2 down to 50-cent books, with the majority of them being dollar books on our show. So definitely check it out. And the reason I'm going to do a show every night is because I don't know whether, 1, my problem is I don't do enough shows, or 2, maybe I'm hitting the wrong time slot, you know? So basically my plan here is I'm going to do a show every night starting at 7. Like I said, it'll be an hour to 2 hours, maybe more if it gets crazy. I'm going to go through the week, and then whatever 2 nights are my best nights out of those, I'm going to do 2 shows a week on those 2 nights. Then on the opposite end of that spectrum, if I have a garbage show every day all week, then I'll do the same thing next week, but starting at 9 o'clock. You know, I'm gonna work
find
hard
that zone
until I find that zone where we can make people happy. Because I'm telling you, Mike, and I know you know because you've seen some shows in the past, even though it's been a while since you've seen a show. And I probably had 2 or 3 lots worth $10, $15 up for $2 with no bites. I'm telling you, if you're watching this, follow us on Whatnot, bookmark the show, check it out. You'll be amazed at the deals you'll be able to get.
Yeah, I mean, I just the ones that I pack up and ship out, I'm looking at it going, holy cow.
Now,
these weren't
obviously,
my
we're trying to
books, I'd want to buy these.
Yeah. And obviously, we're trying to make money, but the way I want to make money is by people putting the value on the book. So we'll start them at $1, but I don't want to sell $10 books for $1. I want to put it up for $1 and let the people in the room auction, get it up to 8 or 9 or 10, or if it goes to 15, whatever, but that's what I'm hoping for, is to grow my room to get the auction action, because I think that's where the true value is for me and for you,
Right.
And then I do giveaways on it every week that even if you don't get a super spectacular deal, like you pay value, oh God forbid, for a book because it's an auction format, I've still got like 2 or 3 great giveaway options. We've got a mystery lot box where you can pay $10 and get books worth up to $26, and also find a business card for books worth over $50. And then every purchase you do for us, this is on the Whatnot app, Kirk Coiner. So watch our show on the Whatnot app on tomorrow. Is the next one at 7 p.m. But check out the Whatnot app. It's awesome, Kirk, if you ask me. I'm a fan of the Whatnot app as a seller, but I definitely started being a fan of it as a buyer. And that's at XcellarComics. All right, then also check out what we have to offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics and XcellarComics.com. And then watch
a couple more graded books coming up this week.
Yeah. Yeah. What were those again, Mike? You remember?
Astonishing Ant-Man number 10, the Death of X, Jenny Frisian variant with Psylocke on it. And House of Slaughter number 1, the Miko Cyan big time collectibles variant. I think there were limited, maybe 1,000, 2,000 copies. I can't remember.
That's a 9.8 CGC on that.
Yeah. CBCS.
So that's awesome.
Or CBC.
Oh, yeah, CBCS. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
That's a whole other show to discuss CBCS. And CBCS.
Yeah. But those will be on eBay soon. I'll definitely post whenever we get those up on eBay. I just put 6 new listings up yesterday. So check us out there. And then, of course, watch our next live stream next Sunday at 1:30 p.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. We're good for that on your end, right, Mike?
Absolutely. We're still good.
And I think we haven't heard otherwise from Pat, and I'll definitely be here. So definitely check us out. Give us a follow. I don't know whether you're following us before already, Kirk, but definitely give us a follow on YouTube. We've got a big giveaway to do once we hit a certain goal on our follows or our subs on YouTube as well. So definitely get into that action. Like I said, we have a lot of fun here. This is the biggest reason we do it.
All right. This feels like a Academy Award speech. I'm gonna start playing some music.
You're trying to get rid of me. Okay, gotcha. Okay. I was trying to sell that Whatnot show, man. That Whatnot show is so
I know, I get it. I'm just kidding.
all right, cool. So apparently you have nothing else then. You're done?
Yeah, I'm good. I didn't even have a very good graphic.
All right, awesome. So appreciate everybody being here. Kirk, appreciate all the comments during the show. Everybody else participate. And until next time, don't forget that appreciating great art is awesome and reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.